From Lloyd to the IR, as well as cutting wide receiver Mecole Hardman. You can stay up to date on all of your Packers news over at ESPN.com. In Major League Baseball, the Milwaukee Brewers got a 7-5 victory over the Arizona Diamondbacks in Game 1 of their 4-game series last night. They're back in action tonight for a 6:40 first pitch. Jacob Mizorowski is on the bump for the Brew Crew. Jim, Matt, and Molly starts right now.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
Everybody's ego takes a shot on this show.
You gotta keep your chill with Jim, Matt, and Molly.
I am savage.
So you're not special.
Jim, if we want to play this game, we can play this game.
And I'm just like, oh my God, this guy's going to swing on Jim. He's a complicated fellow.
People like me. I don't think so.
This is Jim, Matt, and Molly on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Madison on YouTube.
We're learning a lot about each other.
We don't speak about her.
About rivals.
We are not rivals. Yeah, me and Kay are not on the same level in the same sense that Matt thinks that the Bears and the Packers aren't on the same level.
Who gave you the best wedding gift?
Ooh, best wedding gift. That's a good question.
Actually, it's funny because me and my husband were just talking about this because, not the wedding ring, obviously, because that just happened today, and he's not going to find out until I have to tell him. And also, that might be another question. When do you tell your significant other that you lost your wedding?
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio in downtown Madison, alongside Molly Brown, here's Jim Rutledge.
Matt and Molly. We are presented by Coors Light. At the Mollinger Blue, you know what to do.
And that's crush a Coors Light.
I'm Jim Rutledge. I have the power in the Everlight Solar Studio. I'm alongside Molly Brown and Primetime Woldershine. I have, you can see us on the ESPN Madison YouTube stream. You can stream us on the ESPN Wisconsin app. I have turned my attention directly towards Molly Brown to make the show as awkward as possible. I used to look at Primetime Woldersheim, and then I realized I'm not hosting a show with Primetime Woldersheim. I'm hosting a show with Molly Brown. So now I'm going to look more in your direction to make it weird. Matt and I used to joke that, like, when you're this close and doing a show together, like just staring into Matt Hamilton's green eyes.
Blue.
Is it blue?
Very blue. You'll see that on the video later today. His eyes were popping.
You've been gone way too long. You've been apart from Matt for too long, Jim.
I have. But they both have
I think we all
blonde
have
hair.
Yeah, we all
Molly
have
has
blue
less
eyes.
facial hair. Yes, we
Well,
do.
slightly. I shaved it last week.
I have not.
I dermaplaned. That's what we call it.
Why'd you say less facial hair, not no facial hair?
Because she's made a joke before about.
And also, everybody has facial hair. Even women have facial hair.
Okay.
Yes, it just depends on how much you have. And how often you dermaplane it.
And I would imagine your hair color.
Yeah.
Because if you have darker colored hair, it could show
God.
up more.
God bless America. Thank God I don't have black hair. Oh, my goodness.
Who do you think spends more time on their hair with facial hair and like actual head on their hair on the top of their head hair? Matt Hamilton or Molly Brown?
Me.
Yeah, Molly.
Really?
Yeah.
Matt literally takes a shower, brushes it, and then air dries it on his way to the studio in his car.
That's true, he does. Yeah, I forgot about that. He really is we call him a golden retriever. He really, really is.
Yes.
With a face out the window.
Hangs his head out there. Big news in the Rutledge House. Big news across the sports world is ESPN. Adam Schefter and ESPN Sports Center, all of that broke the news that America's favorite couple, Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift, are engaged to be married. And I say America's favorite couple because their podcast, the New Heights podcast, the Kelce Brothers podcast with Taylor Swift, set a Guinness Book of World Record for the most consumed YouTube video of all time for a podcast.
How many views?
1.3 million, which is weird. So I'm guessing that was at one time, like live in the moment.
That
was
sense.
live streaming, yes.
Live streaming.
That's
Guinness
only like
Book
2
of
more
World.
viewers than what we get for our show. What are you talking about? It's not a big deal.
Take that for data.
That is true, but we don't hold the record anymore, Molly.
Okay.
We are not the Kelce Swift. We're not quite on that level when we do our show. All my fault. I'm not Travis Kelce sort of level of fame right there.
I'm not Taylor Swift. It's fine.
Did you see, on a side note here, Molly, that during the Bears-Chiefs game, you probably didn't see it, but there was someone who the Bears broadcast for like a half second got and thought it was Taylor Swift?
No.
They were in the suite. So I thought to myself, and I want to be curious, not judgmental on it, but I really want to know why a woman dressed very similarly to Taylor Swift, same eye makeup, and Molly, you probably could speak more to this, of like, she had a similar facial structure.
Okay.
And then you know, Taylor Swift has a specific makeup style. I think certain women will do different makeup styles to give a certain look.
Does she have her own makeup brand?
I don't know.
No.
But I just mean like the way she does her makeup.
Yeah, for sure.
And then also the bangs
Yep.
that she rocked. And this woman was blonde, similar build, wore a red shirt, had the bangs, had the similar look up, looked like a toned down, like a dressed down Taylor Swift at the game in a suite. So honestly, it was a bit surprising to me because it's one thing if you were going to the game and you had kind of a Taylor Swift look to you, but to be in the suite in Kansas City with the Taylor Swift look.
She knew what she was doing.
But also, like, why?
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
I'd
Okay.
be embarrassed as hell if so you and I believe we're going to a Bears-Vikings game. I'm going to wear the Caleb Williams jersey most likely. If I
I'm
ran
not.
into Caleb Williams, though, I'd be humiliated. Like, I don't
That you wore his jersey?
Yes, I would.
Why?
I don't know. I just would feel stupid. Like
What?
Because I feel like a child. Like jerseys for me already are like
is.
I can wear them to specific things. Like we wore it to the fantasy football draft at Potawatomi. I'll wear it to a Bear game. I'm not just wearing the jersey out and about on a Sunday.
You're just not enough of a fan, is what it is. She's just a big T Swift
He's a
fan.
bandwagon.
Exactly. You're not a big enough of a Bears fan.
I want to get into. Well, you know what? I want your thoughts on it. 844-770-3776. That's Carbon Stock text line. Less is more. It doesn't have to be an official siding unlimited poll question, but I want to know, when is it okay to wear a jersey?
Always.
So that
Is it-
always could be one of the options. I'm really wearing it.
probably
It's
not,
got to
no.
be sports specific and to like the fantasy football draft. If I was going to like North and South, or if I was going somewhere to watch the Bear game, especially like with friends or like a sports bar, okay,
Yeah.
I'll be
wear
honest.
the jersey then, or I'm wearing it to the game.
I'll
But
be honest,
otherwise-
I think if your team's playing on a Sunday, wearing the jersey makes sense.
Out and
In my
about, just
opinion.
like in the day.
Yeah, to the
Jerseys
grocery-
are also
to the
very
grocery
uncomfortable,
store.
right? Like, I don't think jerseys are comfortable at all.
I
but
always
they're also
get-
made for men.
I always get mine a size up so that it's just like kind of baggy and it's almost like pajamas that I'm walking around in.
See, I hate that. I actually have gotten my Caleb one fits pretty well, but like otherwise,
I don't
felt
like that.
I
Yeah.
don't. I felt silly and like I feel like I'm wearing my dad's shirt in like a big.
But then-
I have an Urlacher one I don't wear anymore because like
With another man's name on the back.
I lost a bunch of work, lost a bunch of weight working out at Carbon World Health and with semaglutide. And obviously, you can ask about hormone replacement treatment over at Carbon World Health. They have a location in Madison and in Sun Prairie. But because of the hard work I put in at Carbon World Health, I want to show off my less than 10% body fat. And I don't want to be swimming in a shirt. So I have an Urlacher shirt that was big to begin with that I could wear like if we were going to a game later in the year. There's a possibility there could be a cool Jim, Matt, and Molly thing going on with going to a Packer game, and it might be the right weather. I might be able to wear the Urlacher jersey like over a hoodie and kind of pull that off. Like that look works. But if I'm wearing it like a jersey to be somewhere, I want it to fit like a shirt.
When
would
you say
fit.
be somewhere, what do you mean?
Like to a game, or like if it's warm, like for this game in September, if we go to this game, it'll probably be warm enough. I'll just wear the jersey. Maybe I'll wear a long sleeve underneath. But like I'm out and about. I don't need to look like I'm wearing my dad's shirt. If I'm going to a Bear game and it's November and I don't need a big winter coat and I could just layer up and wear the Urlacher jersey over the top, that's when I'll wear that one, the bigger one. It's almost a coat. But if I'm going to like the Potawatomi fantasy football draft, I'm wearing something that fits, right? Or I'll wear a Bears t-shirt. Like I'll wear Bears stuff on a Sunday. I have Bears t-shirts. I have Bear stuff like, quarter zips, all that kind of stuff. I'll wear that. I'm just not wearing the jersey out.
Molly, what about you? Just like on a given Saturday or Sunday, if you're your teams are playing that day, do you just have jerseys on, or are you just more the Jersey brand?
Absolutely not to jerseys. Like I said, jerseys are made for men. Like if they make a women's jersey, it's like a V-cut jersey, which isn't really my style at all. So the only time that I really wear a jersey is if I'm actually going to a game. And that's not even every time because, like, I think when we went to a game, it was cold and it was the Packers Vikings game. I think I probably just wore like a Packers sweatshirt underneath my green winter coat, but like I wore a jersey to a Vikings Packers game, like the first game at US Bank Stadium, and that was the last time that I probably wore a Packers jersey there. Maybe I wore one to our fantasy draft last year because I think we all wore jerseys to it. I think that was like our little bit last year. But it is interesting though because if you talk to like Matt Hamilton, he could wear a jersey every single day and he'd be totally happy. Like that is his vibe. That's his jam.
It is his vibe, and I'm not going to knock his vibe, especially without him here. We will talk to him and Chris Plys a little bit later in the show. We did pre-record an interview, and we did talk with them about the Vikings and what they've been up to. But 844-770-3776 is how you get into the show. That's a Siding Limited poll question is, what do you think of wearing jerseys? When is it socially appropriate to wear a jersey? That's the Carl was Talking text line. You can chime in on. Tyler and Sun Prairie chimes in. I don't have any hate on jersey people, but I haven't had one since he was like 15. Totally get your take on meeting an athlete wearing a jersey. I would feel like a child.
That makes sense. Okay, but speaking of the child aspect, what are the differences in rules for children versus adults? Because I think Molly...
Kids can wear jerseys all the time.
And Molly, you're in a house with 5 kids now.
Yeah.
And your husband is also a giant Vikings fan. But
Yes.
I think like most men on Sundays, like he becomes a child. Like the rules are out the window, right?
Yes. Also, my son, so my brother lives in Denver, and he's kind of like a quasi Denver Broncos fan now. He's a massive Packers fan, but like with the Broncos being there, he's kind of like, yeah, I'll cheer for him, whatever. So, and with them being in the AFC, it doesn't matter, right? So he actually got all of my kids like Broncos stuff. So he got like the youngest one, he got him a Bo Nix jersey, and then he got our girl a little cheerleading outfit, which is adorable. But then he got my son just like it's like a jersey material, but it's just like Denver Broncos, no name on the back. My kid won't take it off. Like he is obsessed. It's literally, I want my Broncos jersey. I want my football shirt every single day. So he's literally wearing it every single day. So honestly, I kind of had this like epiphany when he got that, and I'm like, he could wear literally any jersey and I'd be cool with it. Because I feel like that's also the thing, too, with like this generation is they're more interested in the player versus like teams.
For
like
sure.
they're more
Yeah.
obsessed with Mahomes. They're obsessed with Josh Allen, like all that.
There's a quarterback who plays for the Nebraska Cornhuskers who's literally dressing up like an NFL quarterback
Yes. What a
every
weirdo.
Saturday.
Dylan Raiola?
Dylan
Yes.
Raiola, yeah.
So I would say the other part of it is I grown in like the Chiefs thing I get crap for, and we'll get to Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce, but like I got a buddy who's equipment guy for the Chiefs. We now have Chris Orr, who's a special assistant with the Chiefs. Former Badger Jay Valai coached there for a little bit. Melvin Gordon's been there. So there's more than just the bandwagon aspect of the Chiefs.
Chiefs win.
Lance Leipold, I did a show with him, the former UW Whitewater football
brag.
coach. He we carried UW Whitewater games on the air. We did a coaches show, me and Gabe Neitzel, and we did a coaches show with Lance Leipold for about a year or two. So I still know him. I root for him. I'll message with him once in a while, and I want to get a Kansas hat. Like, why not? I know him. Oklahoma. Jay Valai is now.
So
Jay
you get
Valai
it.
worked for us and was an intern and was a former Badger. And I obviously go to Oklahoma for some business trips. So, like, I have an Oklahoma Sooners. The Jordan logo helps, too, but I have an Oklahoma Sooners quarter zip. And I've almost been, like, spreading it out a little bit of Seattle. Soup Campbell's out there. Kind of want to get a Seattle Seahawks ball cap or something. So, it's just as you kind of make more friends in this industry, it's like, well, no, I kind of want to. I mean, I'll never do it for the Packers, but like, I kind of want to
Support other,
yeah.
But when
Totally.
you want to support those teams, you're always getting the hat or the quarter. You're never getting a jersey.
No, I'm never
Jerseys
getting
are
a jersey.
also really expensive.
Yeah,
they're like
very expensive.
$150.
But if you're getting them like gratis from some guys, I mean,
Well,
you're-
I haven't asked. Well, now my friend Kale gave me stuff gratis, and Soup gave me some stuff for the Bears. I haven't asked for any Seahawks stuff, and I haven't asked Coach Leipold for any Kansas stuff. If I was given a Kansas jersey or a Seahawks jersey, I would absolutely rock it. But otherwise, if I'm buying it myself, I'll probably just check.
how many times would you rock that Kansas jersey? How
If I
many?
was given one?
Yeah, if you were given one, how many times would you actually wear it?
When they had their bowl game.
Yeah, I mean, because
So
also
once a
like
year.
another Kansas tie that I went to the Orange Bowl. It was Kansas versus Vatech in the Orange Bowl with Aqib Talib was their starting.
Talib, yeah.
he was their star
I haven't
player.
heard that name in forever.
Right?
Yeah, he was actually at Kansas. They just opened up their brand new stadium. He was at that game.
It's a nice stadium.
Yeah, it's a beautiful stadium. But my point is that like as you just kind of start making some friends, and who knows where Chris Orr is going to end up. Like I might want to get
People like
more jerseys to support Chris. So it is an interesting aspect to it. But 844-770-3776. Carl Talk text line list is more. When is it socially appropriate to wear a jersey. Robin Madison says, only time I've worn a jersey was in the county jail over the weekend. Had my own number.
I shot that bull 2 days later.
Strofe the Clown Guy chimes in. Strofe is a clown.
No idea.
We'll roll with that.
Irrelevant.
Chris from Manitowish Waters says, the only jersey I have with somebody's name on the back of it is I have a number 3 Packers jersey with all 3 of my kids' initials spaced out on the back. Good for you, Chris. That's a good one, too.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
It is nice that you can like customize jerseys too nowadays.
Would you put one with your name on it?
Like Matt Hamilton.
Like-
Brown?
Now,
What are
Matt's
you
at least
asking?
given to him.
He has a Brewers jersey that's 18 and it says Hamilton on the back.
His Wisconsin hockey jersey's pretty sweet too. This is Hamilton.
That's super
Yes.
cool.
And it's cool
Yeah.
it's given to him. But at the same time, to be fair to Matt, most people probably see that and be like, this dork put his name on the back of a jersey. So
I think most people would be like, "Oh, Hamilton, 18." Like,
Cool.
You wouldn't know if that's a
that's what I
player
mean.
or
So they'd
not.
just be some random guy. They'd be like, this guy put his name and number on the back of a jersey? What a dork. Like,
Whenever I see people like that at games, when I just see a customized jersey, I just think like you really spent like $250 just for like a funny little phrase.
yeah.
It feels like it's not worth it most of the time.
Again, the one caveat I'd be like to Chris with the kids tie to it.
That's different. Yeah.
Yeah, and so like I remember.
Don't even. You'd be making fun of Chris from Manitowish Waters if he was sitting in front of you in the bleachers
If
at
he was
Lambeau.
in front of me at the bleachers, I
Don't
would be
be
more
nice.
confused if I just saw 3 initials and be like, "What is?" I'd be curious what the background is. But if it's just like, yeah, I mean, some guys are just like looking for a funny meme or a funny joke, like they want to get the 69 jersey, and we all know what's gonna happen there.
What are you talking about, Derek Engler?
Derek Engler?
Was he number 69?
Amen.
He tattooed 69 too. Yeah, but he was 69.
What?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that at all.
Oh yeah. Well,
I'm gonna have to ask to see his 69
It's like
next
a number.
time. Tattoo.
yes. Finish that thought there.
Amen.
It's a socially acceptable place. You can see it. Like I feel like.
Thank God.
Yeah.
My mind didn't go there. So.
Well, I was
Thank
just
you.
69
Thank you for
tattoo.
I
clarifying.
like that number.
When he wears shorts in the summer, you can see it. It's on his inner knee. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh!
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Sounds painful.
I'm kidding. It's on one of his calves. 844-770-3776 is how you can get into the show. Eric in Madison says, I still have my high school jersey from 1985 with his name on it, and it still fits. Good for you. Because, again, if I see someone in a high school jersey, I'm going to assume that's theirs with their name on it.
Okay. I thought you were
really
saying-
don't know how you do that otherwise. Like, you're going to get, you know what I mean? It's not like you can just get a Verona high school jersey and then put a name on it. So good for you, Eric, to be able to do that.
I think
Tim
you're
and
saying
Oregon-
good for you to be able to still fit into it
Oh, that
because I
too.
couldn't fit in my
Yeah.
prom dress. I'll tell you that much. That's not happening.
Tim in Oregon says, I can't wear the Jordan Love jersey. Everyone hates him.
What? I think isn't he a Bears fan?
That's
Tim
my
and
guy
Oregon.
right there.
I don't know. I don't know why I'd have a Jordan Love jersey. But I want to get to some Packers talk here as the show goes along. I want to talk about, we had some interesting content we were able to kind of listen to as a show from the Athletic podcast, and I want to get to that on the other side. But as we go to break here, I want to throw this out as well. I want your engagement stories in honor of Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift getting engaged today, which hopefully our fan base isn't going to be triggered by it. Like, look, it is what it is. Honestly, if this was broadcast on live TV, I wouldn't even be that shocked by it. This is like the American equivalent of the like Princess Diana.
It was on CNN apparently.
It was all everywhere, but I mean, the actual wedding will be like
It's Taylor Swift. She's
Yeah.
the most famous person in the world.
right, and she's beloved by most who are not insane. I really don't know what there is to not like about Taylor Swift. You can not like her music, but like what to not like about her, I don't know. I think you're just looking to be triggered. And then same with Kelce. Again, the personality-wise, but in general, these two people are very well beloved. They seem genuine, and it is a huge thing to the point where ESPN, SportsCenter, and the ESPN app broke the story. So to tie it to what we're doing today, and we're going to do some Packer talk on the other side, I want to know your engagement story. 844-770-3776. That's a Carbos Talk and text line. Less is more. I want to know your engagement story. Good, bad, or whatever. I want to hear it because I don't think anyone's topping what Travis did. Maybe they are. It was pretty over the top, looked pretty extravagant. Good for him. I don't need extravagant. I don't need over the top. I just want the stories. They could be funny. They could be sweet. They could be embarrassing. Whatever they are, I just want the stories. So chime in 844-770-3776 with your engagement stories. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly.
I think we asked Jim, would you potentially have your wife on Jim, Matt, and Molly? That's what we wanted to ask you.
If she wanted to, I don't care. I mean, for an interview, she's looking at me right now. I mean, I'm sure we could be open to an interview sometime.
We could bring her on now.
Taylor Swift joining she rolled her eyes at me like my 12-year-old does, so I don't know.
Presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Medicine on YouTube.
Hey, it's Molly Brown from Jim, Matt, and Molly. I've been drinking ZOA Energy for a while now, and I absolutely love it. ZOA is my go-to beverage when I need a boost without the crash that comes with other energy drinks. It's packed with natural ingredients like vitamin B and C, electrolytes, and has zero sugar. It fuels my workouts and busy days. I recently had twins, and I have a toddler, so I need all of the energy I can get. Head over to ZOAEnergy.com to find the location nearest to you to pick up some ZOA for yourself. ZOA Energy for balance and drive.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
The biggest games.
Back-to-back state championships. Still going, lowers his shoulder into the end zone. Touchdown, Wanakee.
The most compelling stories.
Where are you going to be playing basketball next year?
I'm proud and excited to announce that I'll be going to the University of Charleston.
We are now joined by the Executive Director of the WIAA, Stephanie Hauser.
The area's best high school sports coverage is Zimbrick Honda's presentation of Prep Mania.
Hi, it's Eric from Canopy Wealth Management. Our years of experience have prepared us to guide you through your life transitions. Our local professional team brings over 90 years of collective experience in the wealth management industry for the benefit of our clients. Canopy Wealth Management. Care, competence, clarity. It's not just a tagline, it's a promise. Go to canopy-wealth.com to get started on your financial future today. That's canopy-wealth.com.
After a serious accident, you'll need a winning team to protect your rights. Trust Wisconsin's own Ruber's offices. Proud partner of your Milwaukee Brewers. One call, that's all.
Want to join the fastest growing home solar company in the nation and work in the fastest growing industry in the world? Everlight Solar has open positions in the Madison area and in their newly opened Milwaukee location. As Wisconsin's largest home solar company, Everlight Solar offers great opportunities to gain new skills and advance your career. Don't miss the chance to join the Everlight Solar team. Visit everlightsolar.com to apply today. Save money, save the planet, and start with Everlight Solar.
Get out this summer and experience Road America, America's national park of speed. Located conveniently between Green Bay and Milwaukee and Elkhart Lake, Road America is home to the legendary 4-mile, 14-turn circuit that's hosted the world's best since 1955. Camp on site all weekend, enjoy state fair-style food, and bring the family. Kids 16 and under get in free with a paying adult. Don't miss Arian's Art on Wheels, September 12th through the 14th. Come for the experience, stay for the race. Get your tickets now at roadamerica.com.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions, securing homes and businesses in the Madison area since 1987.
Man, I got this right. My head up to my back. You know I'm
Tune into Behind the Bucks, podcast on the Bucks Plus Audio Network, presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Behind the Bucks brings you exclusive access and untold stories about the greatest stars and moments in Bucks history. Go behind the scenes of Giannis's Emmy-nominated documentary, hear about the true origins of Bucks and Six culture, and more. Find Behind the Bucks on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, the new ESPN Wisconsin app, and wherever you get your podcasts. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher.
608 chimes in. Two things on jerseys. Jerseys are over a collared button-up dress shirt is one of the worst looks of all time. One of my top pet peeves is when people wear any random jerseys to a game. If you're at a sporting event, it has to be related to the team's playing. She's Molly Brown. I'm Jim Rutledge. Primetime Laura Sean behind the glass. What are you guys' thoughts on that?
Collared shirt, not great. With a jersey?
Are you
coming from a business meeting? Like, Jim, if you were wearing a jersey right now over that shirt, yuck, I'm out.
All right.
It would look good with Bears blue, though, right?
Yeah.
The only time it's acceptable
My blue eyes?
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, Jim, we all know that Jim has got the perfect Bears look.
Got Bears.
But I think it's only acceptable in the playoffs. Playoffs for baseball or the NBA or hockey. Because I think the only reason you should be doing that is like you came straight from work to make it to the game because it's starting early in the afternoon.
If you came straight from work, no. Jim is, I don't even know, but I guarantee Jim is wearing an undershirt right now. He could literally take off. This is so uncomfortable.
I mean, you're the one who wants to.
I don't want to look you in the eyes anymore. All Jim has to do is unbutton 10 buttons, throw on a jersey, he's good to go. Like, that is less work than just being able to throw over a jersey over the collar, because then you got to make sure the collar's popped and everything right. Like, come on.
It's the equivalent of a popped collar, honestly.
I agree.
Like
oh, God.
Like the polos with the popped collar.
Hey, ever since I can remember.
It is a rough look. I'm not denying it. It's a rough look, but I think it's acceptable. Like, if literally I think of guys coming from like Wall Street to games at Madison Square Garden. It's like they popped the jersey on because it's all they had. It's all they had time for.
No, that is the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
Maybe I'm making it up in my mind.
That is what you're making
Yeah,
up.
probably. But I'm making up a story for those guys. I like to make up a story for the fans.
You know the time that it might be actually acceptable? March Madness. When there is 15 games going on at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, you are at work, you are watching it on the TVs or watching it on your computer screen, watch on your second monitor, whatever you're doing. Because then you're actually at work during it. And even then, it's like you wouldn't really throw on a jersey then. But that's the only time that it might be acceptable.
Maybe when your team is playing, if it's like on that first Thursday, but then you have to go to a meeting afterwards. So you just pop the jersey on during the middle of the day, then you take it off.
But like
you can to work.
But the way that you're making it seem is you can only be a fan if you're wearing like a jersey.
I'm not saying that.
Like,
no.
Like Jim could be a Wisconsin Badgers fan right now. He doesn't need to put on Cardinal and white in order for his fandom to
But if
begin.
you had the opportunity to be like, I know I have to make it to the game after this, like you bring a jersey on top of it.
Or
Just
you can
to
just
throw
do
over.
what Matt Hamilton does, just wear like a basketball jersey with no shirt underneath. Just come to the office.
Matt's attire is not acceptable in most workplaces. It is here, and because he's Matt Hamilton.
Yeah. 608, Donald chimes in. Actually, we got his name on it here. Ryan, you can maybe pop that name onto the thing. As we keep on getting new texters to the show, which is great. Went to a convention many years ago. They had a Super Bowl party. The company gave out team jerseys to everyone, and they tried to match the name of a player to your name. My name is Donald. Who do you think I got? Nope, Donald Lee instead of Donald Driver. Donald Lee is a tough. It's a deep cut. Driver. It's a deep cut, Donald Lee. Like, honestly, Donald, if you have that jersey now, like a guy like Riley Yauk, the producer of the Jump Around, and he'll be on Wisconsin College Game Day and produces the Barry Alvarez show, like that's something he would want.
He was wearing a Badgers jersey that he didn't even know what player it was the other day, was he not?
Yeah, they had to try and do research to figure out who it was.
I don't know if they ever found out.
He just buys like the old school like college football jerseys where he buys them at some random store on State Street.
Good for him. I'm pro that.
No names
fake
on
vintage?
them or anything. Yeah, probably.
I'm just kidding.
They might be fake
real,
vintage.
It's real vintage, just very expensive vintage.
Yeah, it can't be.
Oh, but I think he's done some Goodwill shopping.
He does do that too.
Yeah.
Oh,
I respect the Goodwill shopping.
He goes bargain bin diving for sure.
That's fantastic. I respect that. Now, if you get the smell out of those clothes, that's the hard part. Usually they smell like a basement. 9 times out of 10, they've probably gone through a flood and smell like a basement.
If all they smell like is a basement, that's kind of a win. I'll be honest.
That's fair. All right, get into the show, 844-770-3776. That's the side of the limited poll question is when is it socially acceptable to wear a jersey? The Car was talking text line list is more. People are blowing up on this, which is fantastic, but I do want to, one, reiterate, I'm looking for, in honor of Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift getting engaged today, I want your proposal stories Good, bad, or indifferent. I'd like to hear them. But also, before we get to Wilde, I want to at least set up a little Packers stuff here. So Robert Mays on the Athletic Football Show was joined by a couple guests, and they went through the NFC North preview. It's a long podcast. It's a good podcast. They give good thoughts on all the teams in there. All of it's, in general, optimistic, whether it's from the Detroit Lions to the Vikings to the Packers to the Bears. There's a lot of optimism that this could be a very good division, and I don't disagree with that. But let's hear what Robert Mays has to say, and then we can kind of get into some of this Jordan Love stuff.
But I think internally there are frustrations about the offense being great in stretches and not being able to sustain it. And I think the quarterback is often an expression of that problem. I don't think the problem resides with him, but I think that's the issue with the offense, and he has the same sorts of issues. This team can be explosive. They can push the ball down the field. He is capable of truly high-level moments. But when you look at it down in and down out, the statistical consistency and I think the decision-making consistency that they get that leads to some of that volatility, if we can smooth out some of the edges with this guy, what can he be? By the time we get to the end of the year, are we talking about him as the 6th or 7th best quarterback in the league? Or are we talking about him as the 12th or 13th best quarterback in the league? And I think why that really, really matters is because when you built the rest of the team with a lot of good but not great players, you can survive with that if you're the Buffalo Bills because you have Josh Allen. Is he closer to Josh Allen or is he closer to Geno Smith, right? Like, where does Jordan Love fall on that spectrum, I think becomes incredibly important given the rest of the construction with this team.
I kind of want to ask, that was not the question we were going to ask, but I kind of want to ask that specific question. We can give credit to Robert Mays and the Athletic Podcast. But Molly, first react to the overall clip, and then we can throw out a poll question.
I mean, I'm hoping he's closer to 6. I don't mean this in like a haha joke way, but I hope he's closer to 6'7" than he is to 12 or 13, like he just said. And I think that the question that you're going to ask is going to be, is he closer to Josh Allen or Geno Smith? The answer right now, I don't know. Right now, it is Geno Smith. I mean, which when Geno Smith is coming off a year like he did last year, that's not bad. But Geno Smith is also getting paid what? Less than half of what Jordan Love is making. I don't even know what he's getting paid. And also, he just got traded to a different team. So he's obviously not performing that well.
He just signed a 2-year, $75 million extension with the Raiders. So he has $58 million guaranteed. But
37 and a half, yeah. So it's what?
That's a lot of money, but
16 million less per year. Or actually more like 18 less per year.
Right. And also he has the... We know Geno Smith as being Geno Smith. There's a reason why he just brought him up as a comp for him, right? Like, so I'm hoping that he's closer to Josh Allen by the end of this year, but at this point in time, no, it looks like Geno Smith. And I don't know how you could argue any different.
Peak Geno Smith is Jordan Love. So peak Geno Smith 2022, well, he's way better at completion percentage. 2022? 70% completion percentage, 4,282 yards, 30 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. 2023, 65% completion percentage, 3,600 yards, 20 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. And then Geno Smith last year, 70% completion percentage, 4,321 yards, 21 touchdowns, 15 interceptions. So Geno Smith, for the last few years, has been kind of a get you to the 20-yard line guy and then can't get you in the end zone. So like Jordan Love's better than that. But if you're asking who he's closer to, I think that is an interesting question. We have another question off of that clip, too, but I want to start with this one. 844-77. Do you want to use Geno Smith, or do you want to use someone else?
Well, now I'm just kind of thinking, like...
We go Baker Mayfield is the comp I've been doing.
So that's where I was going to go, and I wasn't even going to go Josh Allen, but, like... And I don't mean this to be in a negative way, because I think that we've spoken so positively about Baker Mayfield especially, but, like, is Jordan Love closer to Baker Mayfield or Geno Smith?
Ooh, that's interesting. But let's go the peak of Josh Allen because they're both.
How big of a difference do you think there is between Baker Mayfield and Geno?
He's honestly probably right between those two. Is where Jordan sits.
Right, and that's why it's a hard question. I wasn't proposing that we say that is our poll question, but like, just that is an interesting thing where it's like we say that Baker Mayfield is a good player for Jordan Love to live up to, but Geno Smith, I feel like we instinctually like think he's not a good quarterback just because of his name. But Josh Allen is obviously elite.
And I think Baker Mayfield is a good quarterback, and I think Jordan Love is a good quarterback, and I think they're both better than Geno Smith. I want to do Baker Mayfield to Josh Allen because Baker Mayfield, outside of last year, is a very similar QB as far as the touchdown to interception ratio, the QB rating, and the completion percentage. So Josh Allen is the outlier because he does not have a high completion percentage either, but he is this sort of force of nature. And Jordan Love so far in his career is not a force of nature. You don't have to be a force of nature to be a very good quarterback. Jordan Love right now is listed as the 12th best quarterback in the league. I think that's fair. I think he's going to spend his entire career 12th to 8th. I don't think he's ever going to be.
I hope he gets over that hump.
Maybe at one point there's a year where he's top 5, but I think most of the time he's going to be that 12 to 8, which I don't think that's rude to say. I don't think that's a knock on him. Like, that's actually a pretty big hit to get a quarterback in the first round. It's always between the 12th and 8th best quarterback in the league. It's a hell of a QB.
You're on the top half of the league, yeah.
Most teams would take that. Now, in the end, yes, you probably have to move on like the Rams did from Jared Goff and the Vikings did from Cousins. But you still got to run where you can give yourself a puncher's chance to go to the Super Bowl and maybe win one.
Mm-hmm.
We'll ask Jason Wilde about that on the other side. But 844-770-3776. That's the Cardinals Talking text line. Less is more. Is Jordan Love closer to Josh Allen or Baker Mayfield? Let's hear Matt talk about Odyssey.
August means easy, so don't waste your summer grinding away in the kitchen. Get oven-baked comfort that still feels light and fresh, like baked feta pasta with Odyssey Feta. Just toss cherry tomatoes, olive oil, garlic, and a big block of Odyssey Feta cheese into a baking dish. Roast it all at 420 degrees for 20 minutes, then stir in your favorite pasta until it's coated in that creamy, tangy, melted feta goodness. It's simple, it's delicious, and Odyssey Feta brings it all together. Made right here in Wisconsin with locally sourced milk, get your Greek on with Odyssey Feta.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Madison on YouTube.
At Siding Unlimited, we're really excited for the fall season. Not only are we proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics, we are also fired up for an exciting fall season cheering on football and volleyball. If that's not enough, we're really excited to share with you that Siding Unlimited is Wisconsin's best window and door installation team. Siding Unlimited is a Pella Platinum Premier National Contractor of the Year award winner 5 times. Looking for new windows and doors? Visit us at sidingunlimited.com or stop by our beautiful showroom in Madison.
Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side. When you see Diamond Jim, you can count on him to be on your side. Selection beyond compare with on-site repair, so you can wear your jewelry with pride. Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side. Hey, Matt Hamilton here to tell you about the delicious Odyssey Brands, a family-owned company crafting award-winning cheese right here in Wisconsin for over 4 generations. Made with locally sourced milk, Odyssey brings bold, Greek-style flavors straight to your table. From savory, crumbly feta to rich and creamy Greek yogurt, every bite is a taste of tradition and quality. You can find Odyssey products at most major retailers nationwide and online. Odyssey, crafted in Wisconsin, loved everywhere, dairy done right.
When it comes to security for your home and family, you want a winner, and we found one when we placed our trust with J&K Security Solutions. This is Greg Gard. Kim and Jeff hit the game-winning shot for us with the Control 4 home technology system. Home or away, from our smartphones, we can open the garage door, dim the lights, turn on the TV, as well as arm the security system. That's convenience as well as peace of mind. Let J&K Security Solutions do for your home or business like they've done for us. Call 255-5799 or online at jksecurity.com.
Clinky Cleaners has been in business for over 65 years, and they've had document imaging technology from James Imaging Systems for right around 30 years. CFO Sean Young explains why.
Probably the best thing about James Imaging that's worked for us is they're reliable, they're dependent, they always make things easy for us.
James Imaging Systems, AI-driven workflow automation, security enhancements, digital transformation, and local people who make doing business easy.
They're quick to come whenever we need them, point out lots of simple things for us to try to save us some money and save us time and eliminate headaches.
So Sean, the bottom line of having business technology from James Imaging Systems?
I just appreciate the work that James Imaging has done for us. They're always looking out for our best interests.
James Imaging Systems. Make it easy, save money, eliminate headaches. Call 608-221-3457 or visit jamesimaging.com. James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or Choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Panic strikes as you realize on Wednesday that Thursday is your anniversary. The reservations being secured.
We'll see you at 8.
The gift being purchased. Yeah, you've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with early pay up to 2 days early on direct deposits. So even though they call you Last Minute Lisa, we'll make your last minute scrambling a bit easier. You've got this with early pay from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions.
Jason, quick
you
question.
You are one of one.
3-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year.
Thank you for helping me prove my point, Molly. Because my point, well, is this Matt Hamilton?
Okay. Molly said it best. I said fart in the bathtub. She said gross.
Do you have a question for Jason, or how is he supposed to respond to this?
He asked the questions to me. No bats.
By hanging up.
Jason Wilde is on Jim, Matt, and Molly.
What's up with that? What's up with that?
The team at Canopy Wealth Management take the time to truly get to know and understand the dynamics and goals of your family. They'll help you plan for your financial future. They're a local professional team bringing over 90 years of collective experience in the wealth management industry to the table for the benefit of their clients. At Canopy, care, competence, and clarity isn't just a tagline, it's a promise. Go to canopy-wealth.com to get started with them today. That's canopy-wealth.com. Jim Rutledge, Molly Brown with you. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly. You can see us on the ESPN Madison YouTube stream us on the ESPN Wisconsin app. We are thrilled to be joined by Jason Wilde. And Jason, how are you doing today?
God, you're keeping your August resolution. I'm so
good.
Impressed. I'm great, and it's great to be with you and someone that I'll never marry, as we established at the end of last week.
It's only because you don't like Big Macs. That's the only problem. And you have the
yeah,
palate
it's really
of
my
Mike
only
Topper.
downfall. Yeah, ask Paula if I've got any other downfalls besides that one. And the best part, no, not that you would not. I am sure you're an amazing wife, and you're an amazing person. It's been an amazing teammate. Still looking for the ring. But I married the right person. Paula's never had a Big Mac either.
That's insane. What?
I knew that would blow your mind. All right.
Burgers.
It's a busy day. We don't have to talk about
I have to,
Big Mac.
It is a big day. I do have to set myself up for a nasty joke Molly put on me. But my wife has never had a Whopper before, so a Whopper sandwich.
It's burger time.
So
a Whopper Whopper.
She's had a Whopper.
I appreciate you clarifying that. Because,
At least that's what she tells me.
That doesn't surprise me at all.
Yeah. Maybe she's all sandwiches are the same, but she tells me she's never had a Whopper before.
Size of the sandwich doesn't matter.
Burgers.
Jason, the Athletic.
This is just as weird as it was on Friday now.
Hey, we're keeping up our streak, Jason. This is
now
what
we have to-
happens
now we
when
have
I
to complete
start
the
with
segment.
like a cordial greeting.
I love the cordial greeting. I'm very appreciative of that. I don't know how authentic it is. I think now you're just sort of checking the box at this point, but we'll see. We'll see if it sticks.
I'm trying to slow down. I'm trying to the Ted Lasso be curious and just be a little bit more engaging and endearing. So I'm working on it. So it is an effort.
You're never going to be endearing. Who are we kidding?
I know.
People like me.
Me and Homer can battle to see who's the most hated person on Twitter on a daily basis. But Jason, Robert Mays of the Athletic Football Show, he did a podcast. He went through all the NFC North, and honestly, overall, like every team, there was lots to be excited about, lots of positives. And he had some stuff on the Packers, and I wanted to get your thoughts on what Robert had to say. So this was just a little snippet of it, but here's what Robert had to say about Jordan Love and consistency.
But I think internally, there are frustrations about the offense being great in stretches and not being able to sustain it. And I think the quarterback is often an expression of that problem. I don't think the problem resides with him, but I think that's the issue with the offense, and he has the same sorts of issues. This team can be explosive. They can push the ball down the field. He is capable of truly high-level moments. But when you look at it down in and down out, the statistical consistency and I think the decision-making consistency that they get that leads to some of that volatility, if we can smooth out some of the edges with this guy, what can he be? By the time we get to the end of the year, are we talking about him as the 6th or 7th best quarterback in the league? Or are we talking about him as the 12th or 13th best quarterback in the league? And I think why that really, really matters is because when you built the rest of the team with a lot of good but not great players, you can survive with that if you're the Buffalo Bills because you have Josh Allen. Is he closer to Josh Allen or is he closer to Geno Smith, right? Like, where does Jordan Love fall on that spectrum, I think becomes incredibly important given the rest of the construction with this team.
So, Jason, I'll let you
Yeah,
react
that was really good. Yeah, that was great. Robert's a smart guy. He's a Chicago guy, too, isn't he?
He's a Bears fan. Yeah, he's a Chicago guy. Yep.
Bears guy? Yeah. But I think everything he said is true, right? Like, look, I say this with all the respect I have for Robert, in the immortal words of the great American orator Mark Tauscher, no blank. Like, he said it really eloquently, right? I mean, very, very eloquently. But it's what we've been saying. Jordan Love's not consistent enough yet. And will he ever be? If he is, great. Then they're going to be great. And if he's not, then they're not going to be great. And they're going to be kind of what they've been. And I love the whole thing about 12th or 13th best versus the 6th or 7th best, and good but not great players, because that's all true too. And the line about Josh Allen is 1,000% true. Mm-hmm. Like, you can get away with some shortcomings from your other guys if your quarterback, which we have watched 2 of them for 30 years before we got to Jordan, be those guys, right? Both Favre and Rodgers were just transcendental quarterbacks who no one has ever been that fortunate to have those kinds of guys back to back other than the 49ers with Montana and Young. And so, unfairly, we always are going to look at that and think that the next guy can just do it because that's what we do around here. And I think that's been part of the reason why some people have inflated how good they see Jordan as, because he's good. I don't know anyone who's like, this guy sucks. I mean, there's a few people, right, misguided souls they may be, that think they should really be starting Malik Willis instead of this guy. I don't understand those people. I think you can be smitten with Malik Willis and think that he's a good player and a better player than he was viewed as because he was in a dysfunctional organization that changed GMs 3 times in like 4 years. But the bottom line is Jordan Love is a good NFL quarterback. Is he good enough? The line that we have used time and time again for the last year or so is, Molly, you okay? You sound like you're clearing your throat. You okay?
I shut my mic off, didn't I?
I want to check on my pseudo wife. The phrase we use all the time is he's good enough. You can win with him, but I don't know if you're going to win because of him.
Yep. And
the Bills win because of Josh Allen. The other people play roles too, but Josh Allen's to expect him to reach that point this year is probably unfair and unrealistic. But to Robert's point in that podcast, he's got to get closer to that than he is right now.
Well, I'm glad that you bring up, as we talk about Jordan Love and just the type of player that he is, but ESPN came out with a list of predicting the top 100 players for this season. The only 3 Packers that were on this list were Josh Jacobs, Xavier McKinney, and Jordan Love. We've been also having this conversation, beginning to have this conversation, because I think it's a large conversation, about if the Green Bay Packers have elite players. I personally don't, and I think even just this list shows that they don't necessarily have anybody elite. They have good players, they have potentially great players, but not elite at this point. Do you think that the Green Bay Packers can win or be a championship contender without elite stars on their team?
We're going to find out, Molly. I mean, look, I think they do have 2 of them, right? Love was 87,
yep.
Jacobs was 67, and McKinney was 56.
You have good recollection. I'm
remembering that correctly. Yeah, I read it this morning. So
54, Xavier McKinney was.
All right, 54. I knew I was in the ballpark. So, I think the important thing, and Jim knows this because Lord knows he's seen a lot of players who weren't elite.
Yep.
Elite is a really loaded word, right? Remember when we used to all joke about poor Joe Flacco? Oh, is he elite? Is he not elite? He won a Super Bowl. I mean, that was his word. That was the word. Is he elite or not? The Packers do have a bunch of really good players. Like, I look at their wide receiver group. They kept 6. Romeo Doubs, Jaden Reed, Matthew Golden, Dontavion Wicks, Malik Heath, and Savion Williams. Now, I would argue that the first 4 names that we read are already good players, and I include Golden even though he's a rookie. And then obviously we've seen moments from Christian Watson where he was really good. I mean, that stretch he had in his rookie season where it was him and Randy Moss who had put together a stretch like he did, that tells you that he's a good player. But would you say any of those are elite? I wouldn't. Is Jordan Love elite? No. Is Rashawn Gary elite? No.
Matt Hamilton
are any of their offensive linemen? I'm sorry, what is that?
I just said Matt Hamilton thinks that Rashawn Gary's elite. Joking.
Oh, I know he does. I know. He's a good thing he's on an ice sheet somewhere. They just, Edgerrin Cooper flashed really, like, elite potential, I would say. But he ain't there. They don't have a corner who's elite. So, basically they have 2 elite players. They have Jacobs and they have McKinney. And the NFL, whether you like it or not, it is the ultimate team game and 11 on each side and all that cliche stuff. But stars win. And you better have more than 2. Now, could some of those stars emerge this year? Could Tucker Kraft become elite? Yeah, I think so. Could one of those wide receivers, could Matthew Golden go out there and have a 1,200-yard season like some of these great first-round picks at wide receiver have in the last several years? Sure. Then they've got more stars. Then they've got more elite guys. But as we sit here today, looking at the initial 53-man roster, they do not have enough elite players. And unless they have some guys that become elite, it makes it harder. No question about it.
Jason, I'm just reading your article on Channel 3000 talking about the final 53-man roster. Were there any cuts today that surprised you?
I don't understand what Christian Welch has to do to get a job with his home state team. Now, again, I want to be clear. I really like him as a guy. Mm-hmm. So if that's clouding my judgment, fine. But I think I can like him, and I can also be right about the fact that I didn't think they should keep Isaiah Simmons. I thought Isaiah Simmons, the pads came on, he looked lost. He's an incredible athlete, but I didn't think he showed enough. Christian Welch, I thought, did. And I do wonder if Rich Bisaccia has a lot less sway than he used to, because I was pretty sure he wanted Christian Welch on his special teams units. So they only kept 4 linebackers: Quay Walker, Edgerrin Cooper, Isaiah McDuffie, and Tyron Hopper. I'm intrigued by that because, again, Christian Welch, I've never heard a GM cut a guy and then say publicly he should have made the team. He deserved to make the team. And then in parentheses, but I cut him anyway. And now here he is again. I thought once they decided on Isaiah Simmons, I thought, okay, well, I think Christian Welch is going to make this team. But so that surprised me. Beyond that, I honestly, I thought Nazir Stackhouse would be the one undrafted guy that would make it. I guess I'm a little surprised that they chose Kamal Haddon over the corner, Kalen King that they released. I kind of thought that maybe Kalen King, who looked like he was pretty good in the slot during the preseason, would make it. But yeah, nothing shocked me. Not even Christian Welch. I saw that and I was like, well, that sucks. But I was not overly surprised. Look, they have now, because Kenny Clark hasn't had his 30th birthday yet. On their 53-man roster, they got 2 dudes that have celebrated their 30th birthday, and they're both specialists. Matt Orzech is 30. Brandon McManus, the kicker, is 34. That's it. That's the list. So they have a shot at being, for the 3rd straight year, they kept all 8 of their draft picks on the 53. They got a shot at being the youngest team in the league for the third consecutive year.
Jason, last thing for me. I just have to know, I've watched plenty of Hard Knocks, and like I feel like it's so emotional when players are getting cut, when they're getting called up to the GM's office and everything. Like, is it really like that? And I know you're not in the GM's office to see everything, but like, is it really that emotional and I guess, I don't know, kind of heartbreaking when these guys, especially like a Christian Wilde, he's trying out for the team that's his home state. Like, to me, that seems like an emotional, impactful story, but I don't know. Like, I'm just wondering if it's actually as emotional as it seems to be on, like, Hard Knocks.
I think there are some where it is, right? I mean, the guys that are, trying to keep the dream alive and have worked their tails off to just be in this position, and they think they had a really good camp. The other part of it that I think is important is that 16 of these guys potentially will be brought back on the practice squad. Usually they keep probably 10, 12, 13, 14 of their guys that they cut on their practice squad, and then they pick up a couple guys that were cut by other teams. But McCole Hardman, maybe he doesn't have any better offers, and maybe he is on their practice squad. They've loosened these practice squad rules. There used to be very specific rules that allowed guys to be on the practice squad. Now, anybody, Hamilton could be on it if he wanted to be. So I think that lessens a little bit of the emotion, Molly, because for a lot of these guys that got cut today, it's not goodbye. It's, well, we'll see you tomorrow when we re-add you to the practice squad.
Fair.
But certainly there are some. On the flip side, a guy like Christian Welch, who's been through it now, he's in his 6th NFL season. I think it's more like Moneyball, right, where Jonah Hill sits down with the first baseman, Pena, that they trade, and it's just very transactional. Here's the phone number for Dave Dombrowski. We wish you luck. That's it. So I think there's probably a few that are emotional. Trying to figure out which ones were today. I will say this. I'm guessing that Kalen King vehemently disagrees with this. Like, we talked to him after the game on Saturday, and he felt like he'd done enough to make the team. Surprise! You did, which sucks.
Yeah.
Last thing I have for you here is that obviously there's it got through the ESPN app through the breaking news that Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce are engaged. I would say we have
first I'm hearing of it.
Right. We have asked some people, for their engagement story, and you're happy to, we're happy to hear that. But just in general, this is, I just find the whole thing fascinating. That obviously Taylor Swift's the most maybe popular person in the world. I really don't. I mean, you might not like her music, but like to not like her, I think you're really trying hard. Travis is a little different. I mean, he seems like a lot, but honestly, he just seems like a guy who is. But he seems like a bro that like is normal, that like had good parents and raised them to be respectful. So like, yeah, he's a lot, but at the same time, it's like they're kind of America's couple. I can't remember something like this crossover to sports to pop culture being this big. In a very long time. I didn't know if something popped into your head. I think of like Princess Diana, but that's not the sports tie to it. So I didn't know. And then how is this playing in your house? My girls were over the moon, my wife told me, when I shared the information with them. And it made me very happy to be able to break that news to them because it was like the greatest day in their lives that they found out that Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift are engaged.
Well, first of all, and I say this as a Swiftie and a fan of her work and a fan of my favorite song of hers is The Man.
Oh, it's a good one.
Great about song. Kind of the double standard.
Yep.
Yes.
And about how she played the field. If she was a guy, it would be I played the field until I found someone to commit to. And because people talk about all of her breakups, right?
Yep.
With all that said, a lot of ball game left, right?
Yeah,
I'm
fair,
happy for her being engaged.
Yep.
Okay?
Yeah.
That said, Sid is our Swiftie. Maddie is more of a Pink fan.
Okay.
And so it wasn't like huge. And I think Sydney would agree with your assessment of Travis Kelce. Seems like a lot. Beyond that, I will say this. I was doing the same thing. And obviously Aaron Rodgers and Olivia Munn did not reach this level.
Right.
But I do love it. It did, because we were talking about engagements, and Paula not nearly as popular as Taylor Swift, and I am definitely not as popular as either of the members of that power couple. But I love our engagement story. Like, we went to San Francisco, where we had gone early in our relationship, and I had this big whole thing at Lombard Street, the crookedest street in the world. Well, this whole spiel I was going to give, she totally didn't know what was going to happen. And by the way, I was in the press box, which I never do, rooting against the Packers in the NFC Championship game against the Giants in January of 2008, because had they won, they would have gone to the Super Bowl, and we had planned this trip for Super Bowl weekend. It's kind of a signet, acknowledging that me covering the NFL, she gives up a lot, and I'm busy a lot during the football season. So they lose. We're able to keep the trip. We go to Lombard Street, but of course I screw that up because I screw everything up. We were at the very bottom of Lombard Street, so to get to the crooked part, you have to go like a really steep uphill, like 6 or 7 blocks. So that did not go over well. And then she was so irritated with me, and rightfully so, that my spiel about the twists and turns and curves of life and how life is kind of like this road, she wasn't even listening. She was just like, I can't believe this idiot. And so we finally got to the top. It was great. There was nobody else there, and it's a big tourist attraction. So I got down on a knee and popped the question, and of course I heard the phrase that every man dreams of when he asks his future wife to marry him: shut up. Yeah. No, really, it would be great if you could say yes at some point after the 3 or 4 shut-ups. So,
yes.
Happy for Travis and Taylor. I wish them a lifetime of happiness, and I wish to get Sid tickets at some point when she goes on tour again.
Yeah, I have the same request for my daughters there. That's an amazing story. Thank you for sharing it. The one last thing, and Ryan will get mad at me for the clock, but whatever. I just find, because I've talked to a few friends of mine who are, women who are like huge Swift, like Marissa, who used to work at ESPN Madison and still works for Good Karma. She's like, I'm way too excited about this. And I said, no, you're not. She's like, I don't know these people. I'm like, I don't care. Men get excited over, or sports fans get excited over Super Bowls, over dumb things that happen on a football field. So I'm not going to yuck anyone's yum about, like, people are like, oh, why are you getting excited about Taylor Swift getting engaged? Because that's their Super Bowl. Like, I think sports fans need to take a look at themselves in the mirror sometimes and understand that we are being very hypocritical, whether it's being upset that Taylor Swift is on the screen at a sporting event. Meanwhile, if you go to a different sporting event, like Aaron Rodgers is there, they're going to show Aaron Rodgers on a broadcast that maybe those people don't want him involved with. So, like, I just find the juxtaposition of sports fans, the most insane people on the face of the earth, and I'm one of them, getting obsessed over the dumbest things, get upset that Taylor Swift fans are excited about their favorite singer getting engaged.
I couldn't agree more, and this would be where I would say, by the way, this is misattributed in Ted Lasso, which is my favorite TV show of all time. I love the positivity, and I love how well it's written. But this is an error. It was not Walt Whitman who said, be curious, not judgmental, but it is still great advice. And I wish more people followed it. I just got an alert from my New York Times app. The question was, are we becoming jerks?
Yes.
And the answer, I literally said to my phone, yes we are. So keep fighting the good fight. Enjoy this. If you are excited for Taylor Swift getting engaged, God bless you. Be excited about it. Go right ahead. I'm not as excited as you are, but what does it matter? Wow. And I do want to start using that. I've been using the 6'7" to irritate Sid. I don't know where it came from.
We don't know either, but we know what you're talking about.
What was the thing you said? I'm not gonna. It was a rain on your parade, but it was something.
Yuck somebody's yum.
Yuck your yum.
Yeah. We love saying that on our show.
I have never used that before, but I'm going to start today.
Please do. Say it on Willie and Tash tomorrow. It'll be like a secret signal.
I learned it on the show when I was like out and I came back and they used the term yuck somebody's yum, and I was like, I like that turn of phrase, so I'm going to keep it.
Yeah, it's a Whopper.
Burgers.
Thanks, Jason.
All right, guys. Take care. Be good.
That is Jason Wilde. Sorry, Ryan. This is Jim Matt and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
Be curious, not judgmental.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly.
I'm out on Kelsey.
Clipped apart.
I'm out on Kelsey.
You
I don't like
despise Travis Kelce.
I do.
God, if Jim
his
was
hair,
here,
his last name, everything. He'll be like, "What? Him and Taylor Swift are great."
if Jim was here, he would just be screaming at the both of you. Right
Literally,
now.
Oh
exactly.
my gosh, he would be losing
This
his
isn't even
mind.
a question.
Presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Madison on YouTube. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute brought to you by Starion Bank with 3 Madison area locations in Middleton, Sun Prairie, and Monona. Starion Bank is here investing in your community. Start your experience at starionbank.com. Member FDIC. 19 newcomers featured in the season's opening 2-deep depth chart. Luke Fickell hoping the pieces in place step up. The head coach sharing more in his Week 1 press conference.
There's a lot of unknowns. Said it can help in a lot of ways. You got a lot of older guys. I mean, we got 30-some guys, 32, 34 guys that are technically in their last year of college football, which would entail make you a very old team, but yet very few of them have played together for significant time. And so with that being said, there's a lot of unknowns.
Wisconsin, a 17.5-point favorite over the Red Hawks, an 8 p.m. kickoff under the Camp Randall lights.
For long-lasting comfort and reliability, our craftsmen make it easy to trust Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Right now, get 0% interest for up to 5 years at PellaWI.com.
Matt Hamilton here for Leinekugels, the craft beer that showcases a commitment to tradition and quality, founded in 1867 in Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin. No matter where I'm at, on the ice, on my boat, or if I'm just watching the big game, I always have a Leine's in my hand. Whether it's the refreshing summer shandy, the smooth honey vice, or my personal favorite, the juicy peach, there's a delicious flavor for every moment. Pick it up wherever you get delicious beer, but remember, you gotta be 21 years or older to enjoy.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
Packers fans, your next quick trip run could score you the ultimate win. Cruising into tailgate season in a brand new Chevy Silverado RST, or blazing the trails on a new Polaris Sportsman 570, or grilling like an MVP with your new Pit Boss Ultimate Liftoff Griddle. Whoa, every dollar you spend at Quick Trip with Quick Rewards earns you a point in the Packers fan zone. So come in and get winning. No purchase necessary. Full details at quicktrip.com/sweepstakes.
I knew that we were going to be getting engaged soon and needed to do some ring shopping. Heard the radio ads of Chalmers and decided, hey, we should give it a shot at Chalmers.
They were just awesome at accepting us through the door and understanding what she wanted in terms of how she wanted it, and they delivered.
Everybody always is telling me how sparkly my ring is. They tell me that they really like the style of the ring and the setting that it's in. I am ecstatic with it.
Thank you, Chalmers.
It's the summer sales event at Metro Ford Madison, and the deals are still heating up. Drive home in a 2024 Ford F-150, Bronco Sport, or Mach-E with 0% APR for 48 months, $20.83 per $1,000 finance. But wait, there's more! Get a 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty on new vehicles and 90 days with no payments with approved credit. But hurry, these hot offers end September 2nd. Head to Metro Ford Madison today and visit metrofordmadison.com.
Looking for the perfect pizza meal just for you? Introducing Pizza Hut's new personal pizzas, the Crafted Flats. 5 bold, hand-stretched personal pizza recipes. 3 cheese, pepperoni duo, the ultimate, and for a limited time, Nashville hot chicken and chicken bacon ranch. All just $5 each, all day. The perfect pizza deal for lunch, dinner, or on game days. Order your $5 Crafted Flats at one of their locations or online at pizzahut.com today. Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Hey, this is former Badger Brad Norton.
Norman, it's a fake. Great call
execution.
You're listening to a Good Karma Brands radio station, 100.5 ESPN, WTLX, Monona, Madison.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good afternoon, Madison. I'm Ryan Wollersheim, and this is your Sports Center update brought to you by Ridgetop Exteriors, Wisconsin's premier roofing, siding, and window contractor since 2002. Visit them over at ridgetopexteriors.com. The Green Bay Packers making their final 53-man roster cuts today, and no big surprises for the Green Bay Packers as they were keeping the majority of their main roster from last season. Now, the big notable is that running back Marshawn Lloyd and offensive lineman Jacob Monk both going on the early injured reserve slots, meaning they will miss the first 4 games of the regular season while recovering from injuries. Marshawn Lloyd still recovering from a hamstring injury. That means it'll be Josh Jacobs, Emmanuel Wilson, and Chris Brooks holding down the 3-man backfield for the Green Bay Packers coming week 1 against the Detroit Lions. That's Sunday, September 7th. Head over to ESPN.com to read the full 53-man roster breakdown from Packers reporter Rob Domofsky. Also listen back to Packers reporter Jason Wilde's appearance just now on Jim, Matt, and Molly. Go listen back to that on the all-new ESPN Wisconsin app. Then the Milwaukee Brewers back at it tonight after they got back to 5.5 games above the Cubs in the NL Central standings. Took down the Diamondbacks last night. It'll be a 6:40 first pitch against the Diamondbacks again tonight. Miz on the mound for the Brew Crew.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
Everybody's ego takes a shot on this show.
You gotta keep your chill with Jim, Matt, and Molly.
I am savage.
So you're not special.
Jim, if we want to play this game, we can play this game.
And I'm just like, oh my God, this guy's going to swing on Jim. He's a complicated fellow. Oh.
People like me.
I don't think so.
This is Jim, Matt, and Molly on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Madison on YouTube.
We're learning a lot about each other.
We don't speak about her.
About rivals.
We are not rivals. Yeah, me and Kay are not on the same level in the same sense that Matt thinks that the Bears and the Packers aren't on the same level.
Who gave you the best wedding gift?
Ooh, best wedding gift. That's a good question.
Actually, it's funny because me and my husband were just talking about this because, not the wedding ring, obviously, because that just happened today, and he's not going to find out until I have to tell him. Also, that might be another question. When do you tell your significant other that you lost your wedding?
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio in downtown Madison, alongside Molly Brown, here's Jim Rutledge.
It is hour number 2 of Jim, Matt, and Molly. We are presented by Coors Light at the Mountain Gym. Believe you know what to do.
And that's crush a Coors Light.
I'm Jim Rutledge. I have the power in the Everlight Solar Studio. I'm with Molly Brown and Primetime Wollersheim. You can stream us on the ESPN Wisconsin app. Molly's rocking an ESPN Madison, looks like a hoodie. Is that an Iron Jock thing?
Yeah, it's my Iron Jock hoodie.
I like that. Primetime Wollersheim with the Wisco volleyball shirt. We are home of Badger volleyball. We're also the home of Brewers baseball. Listen to the Brewers take on the Diamondbacks tonight, 6:04 pregame, 6:40 first pitch. Brewers won yesterday against the Diamondbacks. And we are going to be joined by Matt Hamilton and Chris Plys next segment here. Full disclosure, we caught up with them a little bit earlier in the day. We did not go home, change, come back. So there's no way with the video that we can pretend anything but that was a taped segment. 844-770-3776. It's the Carl's Talking text line. This is more. That's how you get into the show. We have a Siding Unlimited poll question up there. Is Jordan Love closer to Josh Allen or Geno Smith? Right now, 56% of you say Geno Smith. Jay Wellness chimes in. The thing is, we don't know yet. The only games he's done well in is when the running game is excelled. That sounds like we know. We need to see him win a couple of defining games, win a couple of these games where he's made the clear difference. Until then, he's just a QB, a Jag QB, if you will. We were asking that question off of this clip from Robert Mays on the Athletic Football Show that Jason Wilde even complimented, but we'll play this one more time here to just kind of tell you why we got into this conversation.
But I think internally there are frustrations about the offense being great in stretches and not being able to sustain it. And I think the quarterback is often an expression of that problem. I don't think the problem resides with him, But I think that's the issue with the offense, and he has the same sorts of issues. This team can be explosive. They can push the ball down the field. He is capable of truly high-level moments. But when you look at it down in and down out, the statistical consistency and I think the decision-making consistency that they get that leads to some of that volatility, if we can smooth out some of the edges with this guy, what can he be? By the time we get to the end of the year, are we talking about him as the 6th or 7th best quarterback in the league? Or are we talking about him as the 12th or 13th best quarterback in the league? And I think why that really, really matters is because when you built the rest of the team with a lot of good but not great players, you can survive with that if you're the Buffalo Bills because you have Josh Allen. Is he closer to Josh Allen or is he closer to Geno Smith, right? Like, where does Jordan Love fall on that spectrum, I think becomes incredibly important given the rest of the construction with this team.
So I think that's a really in-depth analysis on the Packers. Robert Murray does a lot on the North, Robert Mays, on the North, on the podcast, the Athletic Podcast, and I think he's in Chicago. He's a Bears fan, but he obviously covers the league. He does not cover the Bears in glory in this podcast. Actually, the other people on the podcast do more of it.
The Bears.
But I think it is a very apt comp there. I wanted to ask you guys right now, we all agree that Matt Hamilton thinks that the Jordan Love arrow is it will go up, that he believes that Jordan Love will finish the year as a top 10 QB, right? Or top 8?
I think he wants to believe that. I don't know if he actually does.
Yeah, I think he's more in the belief that he'll probably just be a fringe top 10 guy.
Okay. So
I think he needs to see it before he'll believe it.
What about you?
For me, yeah, for sure. I think Jordan Love at this point has shown, like Robert May said, flashes, but until he can do it on a consistent basis for, I don't know, 3/4 of a season, I'm not going to think that he can do that repeatedly year over year. I mean, we see guys like he brings out, like, is he closer to Geno Smith or Josh Allen? Like, Geno Smith has kind of done the same thing, but even to more consistent play, I would even say. I mean, he's done it for a full season, but look how long it took him to get there, and then throughout his entire career, he's, like, what he's doing right now is more like 25% of his entire body of work. So, and as of right now, Jordan Love doesn't have enough of a body of work to really know. So as of right now, I'm going to say that he's probably going to be the 10th best quarterback in the NFL next season.
Molly?
I mean, I'm hopeful that he's above 10. I would hope that he's number 1, but that's not going to happen.
Of course.
No, I mean, they said it perfectly. Like, they've said exactly what we've been saying all along, right? Like, he has been consistently inconsistent, and until he shows consistency across an entire season, he's not going to be an elite or really good quarterback in my eyes. And I know that you've even said that he's a good quarterback, and maybe that's just me guarding my heart, but I even have a hard time believing that. And I know I just heard Jason Wilde say it too, where it's like, he's not a bum quarterback. You've mentioned it before. If he was on the Chicago Bears, he'd be breaking records as a Chicago Bears quarterback. But, like, to me, I'm just like, I don't want to say he's good because I don't feel like he's good enough yet.
And I think that's kind of where Packer fans are at, because a couple things here. And one, Brandon in Tulsa chimes in, 844-770-3776 on the Carlos Talk text line. List is more. I think I know what Jordan is not, and that's an accurate elite thrower. He could be a top 8 QB, but I don't think he's going to be anything more than Kirk Cousins, and that's not going to win Super Bowls. In the podcast, they say that when Jordan Love is bad, especially when he throws his interceptions, it is really bad. Like, you can't excuse it bad sort of interceptions. I would say Jordan Love, the difference in opinion here is that, but you guys aren't as far away as I thought, is that I think Jordan Love is a more fully cooked product than maybe Packer fans want to agree. Like, I think Jaden Daniels is more fully cooked than even, let's say, C.J. Stroud. I think you need to account for...
That's hard to say after 1 year.
Here's why. And I just a working theory I have. Age and time in college. Jaden Reed, I did this for Caleb Williams. I was curious. And Jaden Reed started a full... Jaden Daniels started a full season more in college than Caleb Williams, and I think is 2 years older than Caleb Williams. Bo Nix, I think, is 3 years older than Caleb Williams, and started almost a season and a half more in college. So that age/time in college and overall reps is important. Jordan Love, I think, was a game more. But when you look at a guy like C.J. Stroud, who had a lot of starts in college, but C.J. Stroud, to me, has more room for you to believe that he can get better than, let's say, Jordan Love. Because C.J. Stroud had to hit the ground running as a rookie, and he doesn't have the play. He didn't have the play calling. Last year, the play calling fell off for him. The team fell apart, and he still put up good numbers, but he wasn't quite to maybe what Jordan Love was. But I think C.J. Stroud, just when you look at it, youth in the league as far as time in and even more so than age, I go look at C.J. Stroud and go, this guy's got more room for improvement. When you got Jordan Love, who's 26 and he's going into his 6th year in the league, I know it's only 2 years starting, but I'm sorry, as I see every Bears quarterback and so many quarterbacks fall on their face their first few years and then either have their confidence ruined or never reach full potential because they are thrown to the fire. I'm the opposite believer in what Matt talks about, where game reps matter, but I think in a perfect world, you get that season at least to sit. Patrick Mahomes got a season to sit, and then he blew up. J.J. McCarthy with the Vikings is not having that sort of – he sat, but he didn't get a chance to do a lot. Caleb didn't get that season. Some of these quarterbacks who are bad when they start didn't get that season. Josh Allen. The rhetoric around him and his first season statistically wasn't good. Jared Goff.
You're thrown to the fire.
Trevor Lawrence. So those guys are younger, and then they get a coaching change, and you can see, hey, there's specific reasons why you can say this player will make a jump. So my point on Jordan Love is I think he is right now the 12th best quarterback in the league. I think that's kind of his floor. I mean, other guys can jump him over time, but I still think he's a quarterback you can win with, which is important. I don't want to.
Can this Packers team win with him?
Not this year, no. They are building their roster that this roster is a quarterback that is a Aaron Rodgers type quarterback. This roster needs to be closer to the Detroit Lions roster filled with elite players for the Packers to be able to win with Jordan Love. And I think that is what the Packers organization needs to come to. Now, I think Matt LaFleur is a great play caller. I think Jordan Love is a good quarterback. I don't think Jordan Love and his Packers team in general, they fell flat in the playoffs the last 2 years. He had to beat Dallas the one time. Elite playmakers matter in the playoffs.
I mean, they were right neck and neck with the 49ers in the playoffs. I mean, Jordan Love lost in the game with 2 interceptions. So the team was good enough.
Okay, but they still weren't. They didn't get to the NFC Championship game, so they weren't good enough.
But they should have, because Jordan Love made bonehead decisions.
And last year's team, they did.
But we're talking about how good the team is. The team has been good enough over the last few years. It's where the Jordan Love.
Last year, no. Last year, they were not.
Last year, they were not good enough.
The year before,
Eagles,
yes.
no. But the year before, they were right there with the 49ers in that game.
And I think I disagree on the 49ers. I get what you're saying. I'm not gonna argue hairs on it. They haven't been good enough. They have not been to the standard of getting back to the NFC Championship games. Elite players get you to they have not won the division. Like, I get, like, the playoffs are different, but you're not winning the division. You're not dominating the division. You're consistently the second or third best team in the division. You have not dominated the way that you used to. So they're not good enough by Packer standards. So this roster is built to have a guy like Aaron Rodgers elevate a bunch of, let's call them B players to A- players, or you have Aaron Rodgers be elite and carry you to the NFC Championship game. I don't think Jordan Love is capable of – he could have a game that can do that, Eli Manning style. But I don't think Jordan Love, when you're building this roster out, should be thought of as a flamethrower, a Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, Aaron Rodgers in his prime type guy. He should be thought of as Brock Purdy, Jared Goff.
A click above a game manager.
Yeah, well, a good click above it. I'll put a positive spin on it. A click below elite. Like, he is in the category of a lot of very good quarterbacks. And the advantage he has, let's say, over even Dak Prescott is he has Matt LaFleur as his coach as opposed to Mike McCarthy and then Schottenheimer. The advantage he has over the disadvantage, or why Brock Purdy, I think, who's physically not as close to Jordan Love, is considered close, is because Kyle Shanahan is better than LaFleur. There's not a lot of coaches offensively, I would say, are better than LaFleur, but Shanahan is one of them. My point being that I think Jordan Love is kind of, he's going to get marginally better, but where he's going to live most of his career is between 8 and 12. I don't think he's going to make that jump into elite. You brought up the Bears and Caleb Williams. If Caleb Williams has or the Minnesota Vikings, if you ask a Vikings fan who's honest, if they have a season that goes similar to how Jordan Love's first season with the Packers went as a starter, make the playoffs or not, you're going to feel excited. But J.J. McCarthy is a young QB who still has, I think, room to grow and be excited about. Caleb Williams, if he has a first year in this new offense and it looks similar to what Jordan Love did with the Packers and the Bears win 9 games and he shows these flashes and has this big long run, you're going to be excited that he could still make the next step. Jordan Love 6 years in at 26, that's a less likely leap that I can make that he'll make the next step. But he's already really damn good. Like, to me, he's fringe top 10, and I think people get caught up in focusing on what he isn't. instead of just saying, like, hey, he's good. He's just not good enough to carry a mid-team.
So if Jordan Love had the roster of the Minnesota Vikings, is he making a Super Bowl?
Yes. If he's on the Lions, they're going to the Super Bowl.
Okay. I mean, I don't disagree with you, but I don't know. I still think you think that Jordan Love is better than I do, but again, I think that's part of me like guarding my heart.
So you think even with the Lions roster, he wouldn't make the Super Bowl?
You know, let's go to Vikings
really
is easier because then you have a good roster and a good coaching, like play caller.
I mean,
and I also know the Vikings roster a lot better, but I mean,
the Lions roster is better though. Wouldn't we agree? They're better than the Vikings probably across the board.
When you do the whole roster, because defensively, Detroit's got a lot of really good players.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm saying across, but I'm saying like as a team, like can that team win with? I mean, Joe Flacco, like Jason Wilde brought up, like is he elite? Well, he's elite when you have the Ravens defense.
Yes.
Right. I mean, I think the whole team is what ultimately matters, and if we're talking about whole teams, I think the Lions have the best roster in the North, and if you put Jordan Love, plop them just in a vacuum, replace Jared Goff with Jordan Love, Molly, you don't think that's a Super Bowl team?
I think it's closer than the Packers.
Do you think it's do you think it's further with Jordan Love than Jared Goff?
But hold on. We've talked about it with the Lions. I think Jim literally said yesterday or very recently said that the Lions aren't a Super Bowl contender. They could win in the NFC, but they're not going to win the Super Bowl.
I don't think the NFC representation in the Super Bowl is in the North.
So how many rosters in the NFL do you think Jordan Love is winning Super Bowl with?
Let's put it like this. I want to say this out there. I think the Packers have the worst roster outside of the quarterback in the NFC North.
Worse than the Bears?
Yes.
Interesting.
For what reason?
Go look at the Bears roster. They have two elite guys on there instead of 3.
What are they?
I would say that the Bears have dramatically improved their offensive line. They added an all-pro in Joe Thuney to their offensive line.
So you're putting him in the elite tier?
He is. I mean, he and ESPN put him in.
on the top 100?
I think he was above any Packer.
Okay.
And then I would put defensively, Jalen Johnson is better than they have anything in as far as corners. And then I would say Montez Sweat is equal to a Rashawn Gary, but then you add in the other players, Grady Jarrett, but then the linebackers for the Bears with Edmonds and Edwards. And then again, the pass catchers for the Bears is the big separation. The running back for the Packers is better, but the pass catchers for the Bears are better across the board. And I'm not saying that's a detriment. That's a compliment to Jordan Love. Because the reason why I have the Packers in the mix to finish second or third in the North and the Bears probably fourth is because Jordan Love. I think he's good enough to lift the Packers roster who, like, you can flip a coin, Bears or Packers, but the point is they're closer to the Bears roster than they are the Lions or the Vikings roster.
Yes, I would agree with that.
And so, to me, with the coaching staff, I think you're going to see a Bears roster get more out of the players that they've had than they ever have gotten. Setting aside the quarterback. Quarterback-wise, the Bears have the worst quarterback situation in the NFC North as of today. I don't know in the long run, but as of today, or I shouldn't say the Bears have the second. Yeah. The Bears have the second worst. Depending on if you like uncertainty, like J.J. McCarthy's a clean slate, and Caleb has ups and downs. But regardless, the Packers and the Lions are exponentially more secure in their quarterback position than the other two teams in the North.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I just think the Packers have done a disservice to Jordan Love and their fans by building the roster that they've built.
But it also feels like this is the most that they've built a roster around a quarterback in years.
And I just don't. And I again, it's and the Athletic podcast. There's a last line here. I know we got to get the break. Is that they talked about we need to remove the asterisk or the qualifier. The Packers continue to build out this young roster, and they're very good for a young roster. But Matthew Golden, yeah, maybe he pops off, but you're asking a hell of a lot off of a guy. I think Matthew Golden is going to be a very good receiver. Xavier Worthy could be a comp for him. And I think Xavier Worthy is going to have a great second year. And I think Xavier Worthy had a good rookie season. He wasn't their number one. He had games on and off. Christian Watson, his best years. Sometimes he was good when he was young. Sometimes he disappeared. To ask Matthew Golden to be that guy this year is insane. Maybe he will be, but it's a lot to ask. Mm-hmm. And then in 2 years, yeah, I do like Matthew Golden. Or maybe even the following year he could be that number one guy. But they're asking all these players to do these things out of what they've shown that they can do. Rashawn Gary, we know what he is. Lucas Van Ness has done nothing. Kenny Clark is a good player. Edgerrin Cooper is the only other guy on the defense who I think could be elite by the end of the season. If I'm putting money on it, he's the only one I'd feel comfortable putting money on.
Okay. Can we add kickers?
No. Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Middleton, home of the Sizzle, Swizzle, and Swirl Happy Hour. Go out there. The Barry Alvarez show is going to be out there for the rest of the season over at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Middleton. So go out there and say hi to our friend Lee and our friend Kevin out there at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Middleton. We got Matt Hamilton and Chris Plys coming up next.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly.
I think we asked Jim, would you potentially have your wife on Jim, Matt, and Molly? That's what we wanted to ask you.
If she wanted to, I don't care. I mean, for an interview, she's looking at me right now. I mean, I'm sure we could be open to an interview sometime.
We could bring her on now.
Taylor Swift joining she rolled her eyes at me like my 12-year-old does, so I don't know.
Presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Madison on YouTube.
Milwaukee baseball was born in the Emerald City, but any ties to the Pacific Northwest were cut loose decades ago. Pella has an interesting history as well, born in Pella, Iowa, but their century-long history of crafting quality windows and doors there continues to this day. Designed with innovation and rigorously tested for quality and performance, get long-term energy savings and durability that lasts for years at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Order by August 31st and get 0% interest for up to 5 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Hi, I'm John Hayes of Goodman's Jewelers. It's hard to imagine, but Goodman's has been the diamond store of Madison since 1933, which means your parents, maybe even your grandparents might have shopped with us. We maintain the same high standards, honesty, and integrity that kept them coming back time and again. Keep their history and our history alive. Shop Goodman's Jewelers today in the heart of Madison at 220 State Street. We're online at goodmansjewelers.com.
The best is at Goodman's.
It's the summer sales event at Metro Ford Madison, and the deals are still heating up. Drive home in a 2024 Ford F-150, Bronco Sport, or Mach-E with 0% APR for 48 months, $20.83 per $1,000 finance. But wait, there's more! Get a 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty on new vehicles and 90 days with no payments with approved credit. But hurry, these hot offers end September 2nd. Head to Metro Ford Madison today and visit MetroFordMadison.com.
Matt LePay for Steinhoffels. Steinhoffels is a proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. Since 1934, Steinhoffels has been Wisconsin's furniture and mattress destination for quality, selection, and service. For over 90 years, Steinhoffels has helped Wisconsinites create the homes of their dreams and is 100% employee-owned. Steinhoffels has the largest selection of all the latest styles and all the best mattress brands. You'll find something for every style and every budget. Shop in-store or online at steinhoffels.com. Relax, it's Steinhoffels.
Preseason football is underway and college football is here, so don't miss any of the action this season on Prize Picks. Prize Picks is simple to play. Just pick more or less on 2 to 6 players' stat projections, and if you get your picks right, you could cash in and win up to 2,000 times your money. Prize Picks puts their members first, so all withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. Prize Picks invented the flex play, which means you can still cash out if your lineup isn't perfect. You can double your money even if one of your picks doesn't hit. Prize Picks is the best way to win real money this football season. Make your picks in less than 60 seconds and turn your sports opinions into real money all season long on Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the best place to win cash while watching sports. Join millions of users and sign up today. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use code WI to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code WI to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, run your game.
To help those who want to be helped, but may not be able to afford it.
That's what PGA Tour winner Grayson Murray had envisioned for a foundation before he sadly took his own life at just 30 years old. His parents channeled their grief into creating the Grayson Murray Foundation, carrying out his vision to help those struggling with mental health and addiction. To donate and learn more, visit GraysonMurrayFoundation.com.
Matt Hamilton here for Leinekugels, the craft beer that showcases a commitment to tradition and quality, founded in 1867 in Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin. No matter where I'm at, on the ice, on my boat, or if I'm just watching the big game, I always have a Leine's in my hand. Whether it's the refreshing summer shandy, the smooth honey vice, or my personal favorite, the juicy peach, there's a delicious flavor for every moment. Pick it up wherever you get delicious beer, but remember, you gotta be 21 years or older to enjoy.
Hey, it's Riley Yauk. Stay in the know on area high school sports and follow ESPN Madison on social media for Prep Mania on Deck, each week's preview for the top games and events. Prep Mania on Deck is brought to you by Zimbrick Honda, a proud supporter of high school sports and local communities.
Immediate live show streaming, a homepage customized just for you, the brand new ESPN Wisconsin app. Your state, your teams, your ESPN.
If you're just doing this because you're starting to not believe the Packers are going to bring in a number one wide receiver.
The ESPN Wisconsin app. Everything in the palm of your hand.
Who are the top guys?
And Dobbs.
That is the problem.
No, I totally
that is
agree.
The problem. You have never called Xavier McKinney the wrong name.
Available in the Apple and Android App Store. Download the ESPN Wisconsin app today.
This August, guests at Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison are diving into the sea in search of a treasure trove of cash. So come on by and seek your fortune. Starting at 6 p.m. on Saturday, August 30th, 24 winners will each select a cash prize of up to $5,000. Then at 9 p.m., one grand prize winner will swim away with $20,000 in cash. The treasure chest is full, so dive into the fun at
Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison.
When you've been injured, you need a winning team on your side. Gruber Law Offices will fight for the results you deserve. Call Gruber Law Offices today, a proud partner of your Milwaukee Brewers. One call, that's all.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealership.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly. We are presented by Coors Light. Molly and I are not in the Everlight Solar Studio because we are working around the timeline of Matt Hamilton. As Matt, we're going to find out in a second here where in the world Matt Hamilton is, but we are presented by Coors Light. And you can get to the show 844-770-3776 on the Carbus Talking text line. List is more. Matt, where in the world are you, and how did your tournament go last weekend?
Well, I am in beautiful Big Doy, Norway, suburb of Oslo. Awesome name. Couldn't help myself, but I had to tell you exactly where I was. And it's really cool too. We are literally 50 yards from the curling club where we're practicing prior to the tournament, which is at a different spot here in Norway. Last week had a good running. We have only lost 2 games this season, and the 2 games were down to the last shot. So, obviously, losses still stink, but the solace is those 2 losses were to the number 1 team in the world, and we played them tough, good enough to win. They made some good ones when they needed to and were able to pull it out, but we gave them a definite run for their money. So feeling good about where we're at so far, and looking forward to getting this tournament underway Thursday here in Oslo.
Who's the number 1 team in the world?
Yeah, number 1 team in the world. They're good. They're from Scotland.
Okay.
You honestly sound a little bit like the Cubs here, where you got the Scotland teams, the Brewers, where they pull out every tight victory, and the Cubs are the second best team in the National League, and they're really good, yet they're in second place, even though anywhere else they'd be in first place. That's kind of what it sounds like to me, Matt.
I mean, yeah, you can roughly ballpark that, except everybody loves our team, and I don't know about Moet as much.
We're talking with Matt Hamilton. Matt, what Leinekugels are you missing while you're out there?
Oh my gosh. I mean, I'm missing all Leinekugels. There's some fine beers here, but nothing compares to that Leine's Lime Lodge, a fantastic Mexican style Pilsner with a lime and sea salt. You also can't go wrong with the Lakeside Cherry, the Juicy Peach, the Summer Shandies, all of those delicious beers, because Leinekugels has a flavor for every moment. So you can check out Leinekugels wherever you get delicious beer. And remember, you got to be 21 years or older to enjoy.
So we're going to bring in, we have a new segment here. Well, we debuted it last week. It was Pat the Designer from ESPN Chicago, and he hosts the Chicago Bears podcast. So a little bit more of a media guy, but his background, Matt, and well, Molly knows this, but for our listeners, he was an electrician and then just started making podcasts and making videos on YouTube and then got picked up by ESPN Chicago. Today, we're going to bring in Chris Plys, your teammate on Team Schuster. He, I imagine, is the Vikings fan that you reference all the time that drives you insane and makes you so mad and you're so happy every time that you can talk trash about beating the Vikings. Is that part fair to say, Matt? Is Chris the Vikings fan that you use as the scarecrow or the straw man in your head whenever you're mad at Vikings fans?
100%. Plus, he is one of those guys, like when you know someone, you know how to like push their buttons. I have been curling with Chris since like 2008, and he knows how to rile me up. And that guy is perfect for this because he's a big Vikings fan, and yeah, he just gets under my skin as often as he can. So I thought he'd be perfect for the show.
Well, Chris and I have something in common there. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
We share good company because I can get under your skin pretty easily too. So basically, people that disagree with you get under your skin. Molly, I want to bring you back into this here. You can ask for the group what questions do you have for Chris about Matt Hamilton? Like, what juice do we want about? What dirt do we want about Matt Hamilton? Molly, you can fire off a few questions to Chris here.
Okay, actually, I just want to know, like, radio appropriate. What is the best Matt Hamilton story since you guys have been traveling on the road together for so many years? Oh God, Matt! I feel like you already know what it's going to be.
Yeah, there's just so many. I don't know where he's going to go with it.
Oh, geez, that is a loaded question. It's Matty's a fun guy to travel with. He's kind of the guy that I lean on to go exploring around different parts of the world with me when the other guys are napping or working. And but I mean, as you guys know, I'm sure after working with Matt for a little while. Matt gets salty a little, like he gets salty pretty quickly.
No.
And so whether it's disagreeing or whether you telling him that, mayonnaise belongs on a hamburger, any of those types of things always seem to get Matty, all riled up. But, great Matt story. I mean, one of my favorite ones probably is the first curling tournament we ever played together. And we were going to Scotland, and Matt put his preloaded, cash card into an ATM machine in the airport in London, and didn't know his PIN quick enough, so it ate his ATM card. So Matt was overseas with no money, and all of us were like 17 and 18 years old and just dead broke. So he was begging us for enough money to go buy cheeseburgers at McDonald's. It's still, I mean, even on this trip, it came up because I unfortunately had my credit cards hacked right before I left. So Matt was giving me crap about needing to do the same thing to him this week to be eaten over here in Norway.
No, that's fantastic. And yeah, it sounds like Matt, exactly who we know Matt Hamilton is. All the good stuff too, because here's the good with Matt. And I was stealing this from the New Heights podcast with Taylor Swift talking about Travis Kelce. But we kind of call Matt, when Matt's his best on the show, we say Matt is a human exclamation point. And it kind of gives the vibes. The reason why we asked him to do that is it kind of seems like the vibes, obviously he's an incredibly talented curler, but what he provides for Team Schuster. Is that kind of a fair estimate of Matt's, obviously beyond his curling skills, what he brings to Team Schuster being the human exclamation point?
It is very much that. Yeah, he's the energy guy. Off the ice, me and Matty are similar, but on the ice, I'm very quiet and reserved. And so Matty, he brings the energy that we need sometimes, because that is certainly not my strength on the curling ice.
I'm glad that you brought up some of the food too, because Matt is such a food snob. Does he cook for you guys when you travel?
Yeah, he does. It was funny. The last time he cooked for us, he asked us what temperature we wanted our cheeseburgers cooked to. And when I was eating it, I was like, well, I assume he went for medium. These were not medium. These were when you're in Canada and they have to cook everything to well done, because that's just the way that those morons up there have to eat. I was sitting there, I was like, Matty, this would have been perfectly cooked if we were in Thunder Bay, but I don't know about what you were doing back there, buddy.
Well, I didn't think you'd be able to tell with all the mayo you put on your burger that was overcooked.
Yeah, I think food snob's a great way to describe Matt in the
Hey,
best way.
Chris is
'cause it's
also
like, hey,
a
man,
food snob. Chris is also a food snob. So like we are very similar in that regard.
that's fantastic. The way you guys are different, though, is in your fandom. I'm guessing this is where you can get under Matt's skin pretty easily. Is because he doesn't like to be challenged about his team or the idea that maybe the Packers aren't title town since it's been, there's like kids who can drive who've never experienced the Packers Super Bowl win. But like all that aside, Matt, I have to remind of that sometimes. Like, here's what I like to say, Chris, for Matt and Packer fans is like, I think it's 15 years. So like there are 15-year-old Viking fans and Packer fans who are basically peers. Because neither one of them has Super Bowl titles. So like at some point, like if you're not alive for them, like how much can you claim stuff that happened before you were born? Matt loves to claim everything that happened before he was born as well. Now he still has more than both of us as our fandom here, but we're bringing you on to talk a little bit about the Vikings. But don't feel like you got to be an expert here. We just want to get your fan perspective on it. And I think we got to start with I want to start with the coach before we get to JJ McCarthy because I think it influences the McCarthy side of things. But it seems like Kevin O'Connell one of the best offensive minds in all of football and seems to be also a great head coach, which is that hard thing to marry. Obviously, Coach LaFleur has that with the Packers, and I'm hopeful that the Bears have that with Ben Johnson, but you have that with the Vikings now. So how much confidence in general do you have in the offense being good year in and year out when you have a coach like him?
I mean, I think as much confidence as one can have. It seems, every year there's been question marks time at quarterback, and sometimes those questions were much more warranted, I think, because we had coaches like Zimmer, guys that they wanted to know what the defense was doing. But like you look at KOC and he just gets these players. I mean, the videos in the locker room afterwards, the way that the guys respond to him on the sidelines, the way that they kind of, it almost looks like they want that coaching aspect. They want to be told where they're, where they may have fallen short, because it looks like he just comes at it from a point of love and a point of, really caring about his teammates. So yeah, I mean, we couldn't be more happy to have Kevin O'Connell in Minnesota. He win or lose, it's fun to just see a team out there that's playing for each other and is playing for a coach like him. So yeah, we're very excited about it.
So I have to actually ask, take it a step back. What kind of fan are you for the Minnesota Vikings? Because on our show, so Jim is the pessimist, I'm the realistic fan, and Matt is the super fan whose team can do no wrong, okay? Matt and my husband fall into the exact same category. My husband is a Vikings fan. It is the most annoying thing. We get in fights all the time during football season, but in his mind, he's always like, this year is our year. We're going to the Super Bowl. That is it. And I'm just like... But realistically, what do you actually think? And he's like, no, we're really going to the Super Bowl. So I wonder, where do you land on the fan spectrum? Are you like that diehard, my team is amazing and can do nothing wrong, they're going to go to the playoffs, they're going to go to the Super Bowl with JJ McCarthy at the helm? Or are you like, I don't have full faith in him yet?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm pretty optimistic. I'm a pretty optimistic Vikings fan. I mean, I think when it comes to, this year exclusively, I think it's a little bit of a have to see what comes of it. But most of the time I would say I'm a pretty optimistic guy. I mean, I kind of ride with whoever we're got. I was a big Kirk guy when he was here, and I loved riding that wave with Sammy D. And I'm excited about this year. I mean, I think, going back to the KOC stuff, I think couldn't have landed in a more perfect system with a more perfect coach. But also, I mean, Jim Harbaugh has a track record of being that quarterback guy too. And so coming through both those systems, maybe that's the Vikings fan in me. I mean, it's kind of one of those things in all Minnesota sports. It's like, you think you have a great team, but you're always expecting that heartbreak at the end. I think that's kind of ingrained in all of us, but yeah, I would say cautiously optimistic.
Matt, you obviously feel free to ask your teammate a question here too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh God,
Christopher.
Oh God.
First of all, Molly said realist. I view her a little more as a pessimist.
Yeah. I'm real.
So that's just a little more context to
Well,
Molly's
and also like
fandom.
I'm pessimist for the Packers probably more. As a Bears fan, I'd fall into the realist side of it, and I'm realist on the Packers. It's just Packer fans call it pessimistic.
I hear that.
I'm not a Packers fan yet. Yeah.
I can agree with that wholeheartedly, man.
Chris, what are your concerns with Justin Jefferson and the hamstring issue? Obviously, Christian Watson has had hamstring issues. Lots of really great players have had hamstring issues that just seem to linger longer than fans would like. Do you think he's going to be ready for week 1? Or if there is any question about it, would you want him to, take a break for a week or two until he's back to 100%? Or do you think get him out there, we need him out there?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's tough because, missing Addison for the first 3 weeks already kind of makes our wide receiver room a little bit shallow. JJ has had, and JJ's had some of these injuries that you thought were going to be a 1 or 2 week things, and it stretched out a little bit longer than we had hoped. So, obviously, he's an incredible talent. We want him on the field, but I think a guy like that, you gotta let him rest and be ready to come back when he's ready to come back.
With JJ McCarthy is obviously the one that makes this whole thing go, and it's really a matter of like how quickly he can pick everything up. Now, from the outside looking in, I think the reasons for optimism is the coach, this offense, and we've talked about it before. Even with the Packers or the Bears now, they run this offense. You don't even need Aaron Rodgers and Matthew Stafford or an elite guy to run it. You just need someone who's willing to just let it rip when the ball is available. And I think that's some of the things that Jordan Love struggles with because he still wants to be the superstar. And I think Caleb will struggle with that up and down. McCarthy, if you're an optimistic into this side of it, you're going to say, hey, McCarthy at Michigan ran what Jim Harbaugh wanted to run. Obviously, KOC can run this. And then whenever Jefferson gets back, as long as he's fully healthy, but even with all the other weapons, it's a balanced offense. It's a talented offense. The offensive line has been improved. So where is your optimism level on how quickly JJ McCarthy can step in and be basically, I think what they're looking for is at least what Sam Darnold was over the course of the season. It doesn't have to be every game.
Yeah, no, I think I'm super optimistic that it can be a pretty good, like a pretty quick, marriage between those guys on the field. You look at even guys like Josh Dobbs, who, came in, didn't know the system at all, and seemingly had some quick success. Like, granted, that wasn't a super long sample size and the wheels kind of fell off. But, I think KOC, one thing I've noticed is that his game planning seems to change based on who he has on the field. And he doesn't typically put guys in situations that's setting them up for failure. So, I could see these first couple weeks being, running Aaron Jones, getting things out to TJ quick. If Adam Thielen comes back, leaning on him, especially if JJ and Addison are out, just getting him used to the speed of that. And like you mentioned, the bolstered offensive line, I think is going to be a huge deal. Getting Darisaw back, also a huge deal. So I'm excited. And on the other side of the ball too, B-Flow is a magician, man. So I guess maybe I am kind of more of a Matt Vikings fan. Now that I say it out loud. But yeah, no, I'm excited.
So,
I know Matt.
Adam.
I know Matt. You have a lot. You have another question, but I just want to say, you just stated all of the things that make Minnesota an incredible team, which is shocking that nobody is actually putting them in contention to get to a Super Bowl and all this stuff because of the massive question at quarterback. But everything that you listed, 100,000,000% I can agree with, even as a Packer fan. It is crazy how stacked that team is. Sorry, Matt, go with your question.
I like the small
You made a very good point. Yeah, you made a very good point praising the Minnesota Vikings there. Third in the division, expected from ESPN, the experts, but what does that matter? Chris, Adam Thielen.
So Matt, you think the Lions are going to win the division then?
What? The Lions were the smart ones. Yeah.
Okay, I know, but so I just want to make sure then your prediction is the Packers will finish second if you're leaning on the ESPN experts.
Oh no! I just use it when it favors my
perfect.
opinion, not when it. Goes
I just like to point that out. Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. Yeah.
So there is a little bit of scuttlebutt in the rumor mill that the Commanders and the Vikings are trying to get a deal done to bring Thielen back to Minnesota. They can't quite figure out compensation right now. As a guy who watched Thielen his entire career in Minnesota and watched him walk, how do you feel about bringing him back? Are you pro, or do you think he might be a little more washed than you would want on this young Vikings team, or where do you stand on that?
So you mean the Panthers?
Yes, I was just.
The Panthers. Yeah, I said Commanders. I'm sorry, Panthers.
This guy's got a sports show, y'all.
Yeah.
No, I think. I mean, as a Minnesota guy, he's a small town Minnesota guy. Played small town college football in Minnesota. With the talent that this team has, I think just the leadership and the. Just the leadership and that locker room presence would be huge for this team. We do have some established players, Aaron Jones, seemingly a great locker room guy, but Harrison Phillips was a big locker room guy, and we let him go. So bringing in another vet that can kind of take JJ under his wing, and be someone that can just lead this team emotionally, I think would be awesome. And just seeing, you go walk around Minnesota, I'm from Duluth, and on Sundays or when the Vikings are playing, you still see so many Adam Thielen jerseys walking around. Like he's one of our own, and CJ Ham is the local Duluth kid too. And so, yeah, that's kind of one of the things for us. Like we don't have Super Bowl trophies lining the walls of US Bank Stadium, but, we've had some really special players walk onto that field for us. And I think Adam is one of those guys, that even his legacy that he's leaving is more than his stats, just from what he brought to the state and that football team.
Pulling back the curtain here, Molly. There's a clock here. It's showing me on Zoom that I'm worried that we're going to run out of time with Chris for the recording. So I'm just going to ask him one question about the rivalry, and then we'll have to let this segment end because I'm afraid Zoom's going to cut us off. So, Chris, Packers fans, Matt Hamilton, describe the rivalry, describe the hatred, give us all that.
Yeah, it's funny because it's like for us, I think, at least in my lifetime, it's by far the most heated rivalry. Especially in Duluth, Superior's right across the bridge. And you get all these folks from Minnesota that are wishy-washy and they want to have the feeling of watching a championship. And so Brett Favre came in and they all latched onto that, and respect to Brett Favre. And a whole lot of players that you guys have had over the years, but it does make the homer sick to his stomach when you're seeing those kind of folks walking into your local bar, and bringing that green and gold flavor. So, it's an amazing rivalry. I feel like we've gotten the better of you guys over the last, handful of years. Same with the axe. It's pretty nice. But yeah, it's, I don't know. I'm excited. I think you guys have a great team. You guys have a great coach. You guys, if I wasn't a Vikings fan, I've been to a couple of games at Lambeau, and I'd be kidding myself if I said I wouldn't be a Packers fan, because of just the energy and the atmosphere at Lambeau Field. I hope that doesn't take away from my Vikings card holding status, but I do think the ownership thing is a joke.
Thank you. Yes.
Are you calling me and
How
Molly
often
a
does
joke
Matt?
right now?
How often does Matt bring this up and
Chris,
say, "I'm an owner of an NFL team"?
Oh my God, it's sick. It is honestly
Chris, I'll
sick.
give you this. And I kind of really ruined Packer fans' days when I pointed out that you've noted this, and the Vikings can do this. Every other team in the NFL can do this. That Chicago just sold off 1% of their team. It's worth $10 billion. So when you sell off 1%, all of a sudden you can raise a boatload of cash flow really quickly. And honestly, selling 1% of the team, they've raised more money than the Packers have raised in all of their stock sales. So it's honestly a thing that's freaking the Packers out because they don't have equity they can sell to generate cash flow. They have to beg the city for tax breaks and then also rip their fans off by selling them a piece of paper.
Yeah, totally. It's funny. I own a couple stocks at Google, but they don't really take much of what I have to say seriously. So it's funny that the Packers fans have such a strong feeling about that.
A new Google stock is worth infinitely more than that Packers stock.
Oh man, the amount of pieces of paper I could print off with my name and a Vikings logo on it. Yeah.
A bunch of haters whose franchises will not have to rip their fans off to make money. They can just sell off 1% of the time and be rolling in the cash.
To be fair, Minnesota just keeps asking taxpayers to build them stadiums. So,
Chicago.
Yeah,
too.
it's yeah.
Chicago's
Chris,
trying to get a new spot too.
Now, to be fair, to be fully honest, all they're asking is for tax breaks. They're not asking for any money. They want tax certainty. That was it. So just to be clear on it.
Yeah.
The green. Yeah. All right. I'm worried about the Zoom clock here, so we're going to wrap up the on-air part of it here. So this has been Jim, Matt, and Molly. Chris, thanks for hopping on.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Madison on YouTube.
Greg Scalzo here for Buck & Honey's. This summer, soak up the sun and savor the flavor at Buck & Honey's. Their spacious patios are the ideal spot to enjoy award-winning dishes, craft cocktails, in an unbeatable atmosphere. Perfect for a casual lunch or a night out with friends. Plus, with fresh seasonal dishes and exceptional service, they're here to make every visit special. Visit their locations in Sun Prairie, Monona, Wanakee, or Mount Horeb. Celebrate summer the right way, on the patio with great company. I'll see you at Buck & Honey's.
In the next 30 seconds, I'm going to tell you how to save money and save the planet. It's simple. Ditch your energy bill and make the switch over to Everlight Solar. While electricity prices keep rising, Everlight Solar will give you the chance to take ownership of your power while also reducing your carbon footprint. As a local company based out of Madison, they'll be there with you every step of the way as you make the switch to solar. To learn more about how you can save money and save the planet, go to everlightsolar.com.
Since J&K Security Solutions opened in 1987, our attention to detail and customer service have been our strongest assets. I'm President Jeffrey Beckman. We'll always do our best to find the most efficient and cost-effective solution to every job we tackle. Whether it's security for your home or business, installing video surveillance, or being able to control your garage doors from your phone, we can help you feel empowered with simple and user-friendly technology. Let's work together to secure your home or business. jksecurity.com.
The Bucky Badger Student Mascot Fund was created to support the amazing student athletes who bring the best mascot in the world to life. Hey, my name is Stacy Bruner. I was Bucky Badger from 2010 to 2014. My most memorable sports moment was running out the flag at the 2013 Rose Bowl versus Stanford. Your donation will help fund new scholarships to ensure that the rich tradition of Bucky lives on. Learn more at supportbucky.org. That's supportbucky.org.
Ben Brust here to tell you about why your next work van should be from Mercedes-Benz Sprinter at Zimbrick European. First off, we have versatility. The Sprinter vans offer 16 body types and thousands of ways to customize that space. Number 2, we have reliability. Sprinter's most powerful diesel engines last longer and require less maintenance, spend more time on the road and less time in those bays. Number 3, we have safety. Sprinter's safety technologies include curtain airbags all around, load adaptive electronic stability program, and crosswind and attention assist. Number 4, Van Care Mobile. Our maintenance team can come to you with routine service. Who wants to go in? Let them come to you. They work with multiple trucks on one visit. Use the Mercedes Me Connect. And last but not least, get your Zimbrick Sprinter at Zimbrick European at Rimrock Road and the Beltline, or go online at ZimbrickEuropean.com, because your next Mercedes Sprinter van is waiting for you.
Matt LePay for Steinhoffels. Steinhoffels is a proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. Since 1934, Steinhoffels has been Wisconsin's furniture and mattress destination for quality, selection, and service. For over 90 years, Steinhoffels has helped Wisconsinites create the homes of their dreams and is 100% employee-owned. Steinhoffels has the largest selection of all the latest styles and all the best mattress brands. You'll find something for every style and every budget. Shop in-store or online at steinhoffels.com. Relax, it's Steinhoffels.
At Siding Unlimited, we're really excited for the fall season. Not only are we proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics, we are also fired up for an exciting fall season cheering on football and volleyball. If that's not enough, we're really excited to share with you that Siding Unlimited is Wisconsin's best window and door installation team. Siding Unlimited is a Pella Platinum Premier National Contractor of the Year award winner 5 times. Looking for new windows and doors? Visit us at sidingunlimited.com or stop by our beautiful showroom in Madison.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions.
Jim, Matt, and Molly wrapping the show up. Go be a winner. Go to Ho Chunk Gaming Madison. Millions of dollars are won every single weekend in Ho Chunk Gaming Madison. Go be a winner and go to Ho Chunk Gaming Madison. If you missed any of today's show, you can listen back on the ESPN Wisconsin app. Stream the show on the ESPN Madison YouTube stream. For Molly Brown, I am Jim Rutledge. We'll be back at it tomorrow, talking some Badgers football as they play on Thursdays. It's been Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite